my dice.
Oh, you got some plans?
Well, no, it's just more.
Oh.
So I can
Is it your coffin?
Oh! I thought it was gonna be the coffin. Yeah.
Oh.
Dungeons
Now you're just gonna
and
use it like a little
Dragons.
tray.
Little tray, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's right. It wouldn't be quite big enough.
Yeah, I guess not really.
Yeah. I'm like really close to getting a 3D printer. I've been thinking about getting a 3D printer for a while.
Your little cauldron.
Oh, little seasonal cauldron. Oh, I want to see what it looks like because I bet that looks really cool. Yes, look at that. Oh, it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just like things in cauldrons.
Right? Well, I like it. It's just a little one of those $3 impulse Target things.
Impulse buys.
I love the impulse section at Target.
That's it, yeah. Except that it's like, give it a second to go live.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it just fucks up, you know?
Yeah.
It's my head.
Yeah.
Here you are.
Reload! I'm here! You all live, right?
Are we? Hey.
There, yeah, there we go. Hi, everybody. It's the guys. Your boys? Oh,
What's up, demons?
commercials.
It's your boy.
We get commercials now because we're affiliated.
No.
I don't even know who you are, Zach.
By the way, whose red eyeball bag is this?
Mine.
Is it yours?
Yeah, it's the one Serrata gave me.
Oh.
Hanging out over there.
Cool.
Nina's just like, I'm a sleepy.
I am very sleepy.
It's a sleepy kind of day.
Yeah, it's a lazy Sunday. But, you know, with us.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It's the Boomberry Party Crew featuring me, Boom, your Dungeon Master. And to my right is...
Sea Panda.
Sea Panda.
Otherwise known as Maya. Or Torin the Dragonborn Sorcerer.
Playing as Torin. That one. That.
Yeah.
I need a laser pointer. I want a
Yeah,
laser
one.
pointer.
And
You can sit
yeah,
it back. Oh, there you go. You turn it around.
Yep.
Wow, I'm like watching the stream even though it's literally happening in front of me. And next to oh, so cute. Everybody, they put on cat ears. Let me introduce to the stage, Serrata.
Yeah, so I'm Serrata. I'm playing Viksha, she's a homebrew tabaxi bard.
Right there. That one. God. I'm wearing compression gloves, by the way. They're not just fingerless for no reason.
I'm just wearing a
being cool.
goth jacket, so mine is fingerless for no reason.
But no. See, Boom just has a really hardcore case of Chuni. This
I'm
guy is a Chunibyo. He's in his 30s.
here for the Dark Lord powers. I don't know what edgy thing to say anymore. Unless you can't see my face, I can't do cool poses.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, cool poses. Here's some water.
Okay.
Yay!
Cool.
So Tabaxi Bard, and then finally, rounding out the rear,
yes.
the second part of Nita, or the Boomberry.
Second part of Nita.
I am Nita, and I am Pahoki, a barf, a druid.
A druid.
A druid.
She's a druid in a bush.
A bush druid.
It's the bush druid on top. And so it's been a while, but last time we were hanging out with the gang, they were basically traveling down to the port city of Dragon's Meat to hopefully meet up with a group of adventurers with hopefully some method to solve their problem of being sucked into another dimension on occasion where nightmare-eating monsters reside, who some want to be their friends, others are just big rocks.
Skin monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the fucking eczema.
Yeah.
And so now we kind of float back in. Let's start from like the end of the last encounter. They were basically ambushed by a group of bandits. And after dispatching said bandits in some gruesome ways and scaring off the rest of them, they discovered that,
Told them to not.
told them to not. listen, you're not wrong. And then they did. Oh,
So
there is some chat going on. Sorry, I missed that chat.
Oh, the chat. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's my bad. I don't
Hey,
have
what
it
up,
pulled up on
Zach?
I don't have it pulled up on the TV. Let me do that.
Oh, you're fine, man. Questions are good. Questions are great.
There we go.
Yeah.
D&D Beyond, there it is. I forgot to pull my app up.
Questions are good.
Yeah. For those who don't know at the table, he was asking about setups and stuff and some equipment and things. I told him the gear I got.
Ah, your obsessive nerd gear.
My big nerd power gear. All right, so
Cauldron of Dice.
it's really cute actually. I have a fondness for like cauldrons of stuff. Like so, I really like. I guess it's probably because when I was a kid in Halloween and you could get candy from a cauldron. I don't know. I always liked that.
I just like spooky witch stuff.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me pull up a thing really quick. And then we can kind of like roll into it. Like the dice rolling, That's a pun.
Okay, here we
It's
go.
a pun, everybody.
Okay, got my D&D
It's
thing up.
so much pun. Okay. So, you sit there in the wreckage of the ruins that you guys were. Thaddeus has kind of like fixed up some of the damage caused by the bandit attack and is sort of resaddled onto the donkey. Your buddy Petey is also kind of like sat back up and is like kind of straightened his back up and is acting as if nothing happened. It's like it was bandit attacks. This is pretty standard fare out in certain places. I'm gonna say you guys put out the burning fire that was in the ruins that kind of stopped. You guys
I did mention I was ray of frosting everything.
Yeah,
to try
yeah.
To get
So
it to stop.
let's say you guys took care of the flames. Just a puff of like smoke, kind of just wafting off the remains, and you guys then Thaddeus recommends that you guys continue onward. You guys are very close to the next way station, a small park out in front of Duluth Hollumheim, which is a dwarven town that you guys aren't going to visit, but it's like where the mountain is to the east. So you guys basically saddle back up, and you're back on the road again, exiting the area. The one takeaway from all of you is just the strange rubies that were on the bandit, and how those were used as payment for you all previously. And now, for some reason, like as you're holding the gemstones, they feel like they're almost a little bit hotter than before. Not necessarily, but they kind of feel like a little bit more pressure than you guys realize. So a couple hours pass on the slight road, and you guys spot off in the distance like I said, the way station. There's like sort of a stable in the distance. It's a sort of dwarven make, very much stoneworks and whatnot. And sure enough, there's a few dwarven fellows like wandering about on the outside. A few of them wave onto you, and you see Petey kind of like wave back in response. And as you guys like pull into this little way station, it's one large stone stable, several like horses and other like beasts of burden are nearby. There's like some oxes in some of the stable rounds and everything. It's not this area, by the way. This is kind of confusing because
I'm just looking at it. Sorry.
Yeah. Petey kind of like turns to the rest of you and kind of claps his hands and goes, "Well, thank you all for safely getting me this far. I've hired a company of dwarves to escort me out to Port Ventus in the west. Now the rest I leave up to you. So you're heading down to Dragon's Meet, yes?"
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
plan.
where
He
we're
kind
going.
of sort of hops off and kind of like is sort of like kind of smiling. He says, "Mimi and her daughter are down there. I believe they're staying at a inn inside Market Town. You should go look them up if you've got the chance." He begins to kind of unpack his things from the wagon, and then sort of detaches his wagon from the other one, and they some of the dwarves come over and they start to like bring over like an ox that they're going to be using to pull his wagon with. And once you guys are detached, you realize that Thaddeus doesn't have a donkey anymore, and so you guys are kind of naked with your wagon by itself.
This donkey's just gone.
Yeah. Well, remember, it marched backwards away.
Oh, that's right!
It knew where to go. It knew what it was doing.
There's this sound of strange commotion in the distance, in kind of like around the bend of the stone structure stables, and you see a few like voices of some dwarves kind of yelling, and sort of like whip sounds from like rope being torn up and a little bit of a sounds like a struggle happening behind the stone building. Thaddeus kind of like peeks out from his like red hood. He says, "Our ride's arrived," and sure enough, a donkey starts to barrel past the corner. One donkey that you're familiar with.
Oh no!
Has returned to the fold.
What?
The donkey's back. Some of the dwarves are like running around like, it's too powerful.
Oh no!
What?
Magic donkey.
Just, sometimes it's good to let the donkey run off by itself, and sure enough, it'll find us.
This was the donkey that looked like it was about to keel over last time we saw it, right?
Yeah, it is. You see the same donkey. It's got more energy now. Its eyes are kind of lit up a little bit. Not like actually glowing, just more full of life. And it's almost like bucking like an actual like horse that kind of like stumbles around the corner and kind of like.
Was it following us the entire time?
Thaddeus kind of looks up and kind of stares down at his pipe for a moment, and then kind
the
of
entire world until it got here.
kind of scratches his beard and just, sometimes Yalos will get lost, but sure enough, he finds us when we need him.
Yalos?
Yalos, the donkey. That's the name of my donkey.
What do you let him eat?
Whatever he finds, Sometimes you just let him graze. It's just like any other animal, right?
Yeah, don't do that in the forest, guys.
Maybe don't.
Maybe don't.
Okay, well.
After a strange interaction, Yalis
we don't have
is
to buy a new one.
Yeah, Yalis is connected back to the little wagon,
Black and wall-eyed donkey.
and sure enough, Thaddeus kind of recommends that you guys rest up a little bit. Maybe spend the night at the little like stone way station, and then finish the rest of the journey in the morning.
So that counts as a long rest, right?
Yep. So you guys are gonna get a long rest here. You guys enter like the little way stations. It's perfectly serviceable tavern. The smell of like dwarven style food, very hearty meals, very rich in carbs and potatoes and protein, kind of wafting through. And sort of a weird, dizzying daze, you find yourself at a table inside, surrounded by like dwarven fellows. Thaddeus sits and kind of orders a few rounds of mead for everybody, and kind of lets you all sort of relax for some time.
I'm gonna order food.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and order. It's gonna be like maybe a couple copper. It's very, very cheap.
Wonderful.
But it's gonna be like mostly just roasted potatoes and like beans, like boiled beans and stuff. Nothing too spectacular, but with enough flavor that you're like, you know what, this will get me through the evening. And I'll probably have to use the outhouse a few times, but it's a good time.
It's fine.
Beans don't make meat fire. In real life.
I get pretty gassy with beans, honestly.
I don't, but I also grew up eating beans instead of meat mostly.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, you guys, did you guys want to do anything? Like, you guys have probably like, it's probably, let's say it's like probably 8 p.m. right now. It's dark out. It's quiet. The way station seems to be like, it's effectively like sort of like a tavern built on top of a stables, all kind of built from stone. There's about 3 stories high. The top 2 stories are kind of like room and board, but the interior is basically fashioned like sort of like a tap room. And again, like a lot of beasts of burden outside. Just from sitting around and kind of listening to some of the conversations around you, you get the sense that a lot of people stop by here, saddle their, or stable their animals, and then just kind of like go on. It's very much a kind of like come and go kind of place. There's not too much to do, but you can like wander around if you want, or you can just hit up the rooms, because they Thaddeus has reserved some rooms for you guys upstairs.
There's no suspicious characters about?
Oh, you can make a perception check if you'd like. Yeah.
Okay. The hookies feel
As you guys are
cool.
sitting inside the candle-lit interior, Pahokee You see Pokey's eyes kind of wander around just to spot if any mischief is to be made.
Pahokey's definitely feeling a little on the edge. People keep attacking randomly. And weird stuff, and it's an 8.
An 8?
And sorry. Oh, I don't have my phone on me. I've made a terrible mistake.
You don't have a phone on you. How can you do math without a phone?
I can't do math without a phone. Well, also, I don't
Perception,
think
you
that my
said?
paper is accurate.
Yeah.
23.
23, okay. Pahokey, you don't spot anything out of the ordinary. And a 12? Oh, no, okay, never mind. Yeah, you, again, don't necessarily spot anything out of the ordinary. Viksha, you kind of have a chance, you note that Pahokey is looking around, and you kind of take it as an opportunity to also sort of search. Your eyes kind of wander about, and you spot that, like, outside of, like, several dwarves in the area, which seems to be normal for this part of town, you note that there are almost no non-humans there are almost no non-dwarves except for you guys here, and another table off in the corner, featuring what look to be a couple larger, sort of, like, orcish-looking fellows. There's roughly 2 of them. And you have a vague... Roughly two. I'm gonna say roughly 2 because, like, you're not sure if there's, like, a third person at the table, but they don't look to be an orc. They look to be a dwarf. So there's 2 orcs. But they're all kind of, like, hooded, and there's a sense of familiarity with them.
Oh, these are the Orc Brothers!
Yeah. And you spot them, like, one of them, the taller one, pointing at a map on the table, and then, like, kind of, like, you see his hand kind of zigzagging across of it, and he's frustrated. You know, the smaller orc is kind of just has his hand on his, like, forehead, kind of just tapping on the table.
Oh yeah, these 2 dudes.
Yeah, so you
What are
kind
their
of
names?
that's.
It is.
I will give you guys a reminder. It's Kashro and
Digron.
Digron. Yeah.
I don't remember my phone is.
Oh well. And a dwarf.
With a passive wisdom check, yeah, you remember. You can see some of Kashro's, like, figures. Yeah.
Is 19.
Yeah. You can kind of see that the 2 of them are sort of like there. They're pointing at this map.
Sorry,
and they're trying to figure this out.
Sorry, passive wisdom is 15. Passive
Okay.
passive
That's still
intelligence is
enough to basically be like, oh yeah, those are the 2 guys from the weird place.
19. Yeah.
They seem to be frustrated, you know.
They're probably
staring
still
at the
looking
table.
for the other brother.
Yeah.
I very clearly labeled them as Retro and Dagon.
Retro. I like that.
This is what makes sense if Pahokey would remember their names wrong. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna nudge Tor to be like, the 2 orcs from the mists. I think that's
Sure
them
enough.
over there.
Yeah. You sure enough spot them. They're trying to be careful about their identity. Like they're kind of like trying to be nonchalant. Like you guys note that dwarves and orcs have a rough history. So it looks like just kind of for their own protection, they're probably just staying low profile. But Kashro, the taller orc, is getting increasingly agitated and kind of like, you know, really sort of like starting to kind of pound the table a little bit. And he seems to be slamming his, like, fist on, like, a small map, I guess, sort of like a makeshift map of some sort.
Interesting. There was only 2
You think
of
they
them
remember us?
in the thing.
Possibly. I mean, we remember them.
That's true, but I guess, Skillet didn't remember.
Well, but that was also, I suppose.
I guess we can just talk to them.
Yeah.
Are you hopping down and marching your way over there?
Not today. Pahokey hasn't had enough booze to start more bar fights this afternoon.
No, you started a fight with knives and club.
I know.
Okay.
You said there's a dwarf at the table with
Yeah. There's another dwarven fellow at the table with them. He's also hooded. But you note that as you're kind of like more focused on the table now, you note that the dwarf there has like sort of like darker gray, almost like obsidian skin. Which is in stark contrast to several of the other dwarves around you. You guys can tell that the other dwarves around you are mostly thunder dwarves, who tend to have fiery red and blonde hair and have like kind of sort of pale skin. Think kind of sort of like
Nords.
a more Nordic style dwarf, and then like sort of olive skinned hill dwarves, which are The ones that you guys know as Oathbreakers.
Yeah.
You kind of know about that a little bit. You're not 100% sure on the history, but more olive-skinned, dark-haired fellows. But
This guy
almost
is like-
none of them look to have like sort of that gray, dark obsidian skin that a gray dwarf would have, or a Duragar.
Do I
Yes,
know
yeah.
much about the...
Make a history check. I'll let you make a history check.
We're both gonna need the dice bags and hoardings.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I'll have a bite.
It's too
19.
sweet for me.
Okay. All right. So, what are you looking for? Are you wanting the history of a Duragar, or do you want the history of their relationship with other dwarves? I'm going to give you one of them because, again, like a lot of these checks take like 10 minutes or so. Like, the idea is that right now it's kind of like you're just kind of flashing through like information, and you're
yeah.
kind of just picking out like very basic stuff.
Alright, the relationship with other dwarves.
Okay. So Duragar have a complicated relationship with the other dwarves because at one point the Duragar enslaved all the other dwarf races, and dwarven memory runs long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
while this event happened like some 15 to 2,000 years ago, you do note that Duragar are typically not popular among the dwarves from a region called Ragnar, which are typically thunder dwarves and forge dwarves.
Okay,
Now
so
hill dwarves have another weird relationship because they had a falling out with the other dwarf clans, and so you're not sure what the relationship between hill dwarves and Duragar are, but you do note that typically speaking, a forge dwarf or a thunder dwarf is not going to really get along at the surface with a Duragar.
Gotcha, basically they're gonna see this guy and be like, mm-mm.
Yeah, they're like, well, we have history. Our families fought in the wars against you.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay. So it makes sense that this guy would keep his hood up then.
Yeah. And you see that, like, the guy, like, the Duragar has, like, as you guys are kind of focused on him, you're kind of stricken with his strange, like, sort of almost ember, like, glowing eyes. Like, sort of like these little red, like, yellow kind of, like, pupils that, again, like, sort of transition in the color in the dark. They're discussing something quietly, it seems, but you're not, so you can't really hear. And dwarves, to give you an idea, I forgot to mention this, but the room you're in is a loud and rowdy place.
Yeah, right.
Dwarves are, like, clinking glasses, shouting, like, just weird phrases, and basically talking about things like the past and how, like, mining was great in this region and how contracts are very important to maintain, and all sorts of, like, rivalry just kind of in this little tavern space.
Loud, drunken business dealings.
Yeah. And you get the sense that it's a combination of tall tales from our old families and then current day contracts and mining rights to certain places and who gets mining rights in certain spots.
So, having had them pointed out, Torin's gonna get up and I'm gonna go get just 3 ales? Because I don't know what they drink and I don't want to presume it's mead, so I'm just gonna go get 3 ales.
Yeah. Alright, so you
And
stand
kinda
up.
walk it over to the table.
Oh, to that table.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Alright, you make your way up to, like, the barkeep, who is a portly, like, hill dwarf woman. She's got long braided hair. Wears kind of your standard, like, apron affair kind of clothing. She kind of looks up at you and says, "Oh, big scaly ones! Oh, pardon the rude gesture. We just don't get a lot of your folk around here. Especially, she kind of leans in a little bit. The azure scales, huh? Yeah. So welcome.
Thank you, and no offense taken. I'm getting the feeling that a lot of Dragonborn don't come through here much.
Oh, well, so that's where it's kind of awkward. Dragon's Meat does have a lot of Dragonborn, but not really blue scales. That's what's interesting about you. You're gonna see a lot of green and reds, but you don't see a lot of blues. Just not at all. It's kind of a... Oh, pardon. I'm so sorry, sir. But could you just... She kind of reaches down under the board and pulls out, like, kind of like a weird little plaque that seems to have several different species on it. She's like, "You're the first." Yeah, she basically pulls out a stone bingo card of sorts. It says, "Listen,
I'm the rare bird on the bird watching trip. Got it? Yeah.
if you would just be so kind as to pop your little thumbprint right on the blue scale mark. It really helped me out. I see I'm in a bit of a contest with a few other taverns, and we like to stay rivals, and I'd like to stay ahead of my rivals, because getting a little blue scale, Azureborn, it'd be lovely for me. She kind of slides the, like, sort of like the stone tablet with, like, little segments.
Tor just kind of like almost in like a daze, just kind of goes, okay, and like puts his finger on the thing.
So as you place your finger on this, like, stone tablet of sorts, you feel kind of like a nice warmthness on it, and then, like, sort of a rune kind of lights up underneath you, and you see kind of like a little spark of lightning. And then, as you pull it away, it doesn't leave an imprint, it just kind of has a check mark. She's like, that's so lovely, thank. And then she, like, kind of looks up and sees the two of you.
V's gonna come up behind Tor while this is happening.
Got a couple others that you might not see very much.
She kind of looks at you and says, listen, I've seen a lot of Kalia in my day, but it's mostly Rakshasa, you know? You look a little different without the glowing eyes and whatnot.
Yes, that makes sense. Yep.
She kind of like slides the board and says, I don't suppose you'd also be willing to just aid a little bit in our collection, would you?
I love this barkeep bingo. This is
She kind of slides it to you, and you see like the Kalia tab, and there's Rakshasa, and then there's like just a Kalia one.
Yeah.
And you know that the Rakshasa one is marked.
Yeah.
But the Kalia one is not.
Did I see any other Dragonborn colors on there?
Oh, yeah, you see a variety of them. You note that, so they have all the scales, but you note that silver, gold, and black are missing.
Okay.
And to your general knowledge, the metallic scales are typically more rare. They tend to travel more, but they tend to be more remote travelers. They almost never come to civilization as readily.
So silver, gold, and black?
Yeah, silver, gold, and black, like... You're pretty sure you haven't seen any of those nearby. Oh, and bronze. Sorry, silver, gold, black, and bronze. Yeah.
Bronze.
But you do know what's strange to you is that that the copper one is marked. So you're kind of like, oh, interesting. To sort of the idea that several Dragonborn have been in the area.
Okay.
But so she slides the board to you. Just, would you be so kind as to just give me a little bit of a confirmation of your heritage?
He's gonna look at it and laugh.
Racist.
Yeah, it's a little racist,
He's
but
gonna look at it and laugh a little bit and go, I'll tell you what. For a pint of ale, I'll do it.
a pint of ale! Now you're a savvy one! She smiles big. It's good to know someone who understands hill dwarf sensibility. Alright, to make it fair, everyone gets a free pint.
Alright,
She
she'll
kind
go
of-
ahead and
You,
put like a little toe bean.
Yeah,
little
you put a
bean.
little nub on there, and you feel kind of like, again, like a sort of softness, and then sort of like a weird, like, a strange, like, sensation, like kind of like a spark of, like, catnip or something like that. But yeah, as you pull out, the check mark
tingly.
appears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, tingly.
Yeah. So she pulls out, like, she slams two tankards down for the two of you.
Hokey, potato still in hand, pokes their head up over the counter. Have you seen me before?
She kind of looks at you, sort of tilts her head, just, hey, you're gonna have to brush yourself a little, make yourself a little, take your head out of your bush.
What?
Maybe.
My horns, though.
She kind of smiles and goes, but you're in a fun, right?
Huh? Potato.
Interesting.
Potato.
I've seen the fun before, but maybe not with so much greenery embraced.
I was gonna say leaves.
Yeah, but
Potato.
she's yes. I'll keep it fair for you. Why don't I add another rune for you? You see that the Nafan tab is marked, but then she kind of like carves out, like she pulls out a little like stone knife and kind of carves out another on her little strange stone board, and then goes, it's gonna be strange. Do you know what your sub race is called? Your ethnicities?
What?
Go ahead and just mark this.
I guess I'll take the bar curse too. Bonk.
You put your thumb at it, you kind of just feel a warm
curse.
embrace, a cool ice, cool breeze, and sure enough, a check mark. Just, thank you so much. Oh, they're gonna hate how far I've come. She takes the board and kind of like sets it down again, and kind of gives you another paint. She's, so, what brings you all to this region? I mean, everyone comes through here on their way to Dragon's Meat, but surely you've got a story or two, huh?
Well, we are indeed on our way to Dragon's Meat.
Oh, yes, yes.
Afraid we're just kind of happened into being adventurers.
Oh, that's always how it starts. You start by accident, and then you live the life, and suddenly it's an addiction. You realize the easy coin comes and goes, but that's okay. Folks like me, we market ourselves just for folks like you. All that excess coin comes pouring into the place. It's wonderful. You're doing good work. The 8 ancestors be with ya.
8 ancestors?
Oh, yes! She kind of pulls out a medallion and it's got like a little like runic 8 on it. The dwarves believe in the 8 dwarven gods, the ancestor gods. Once, they were just normal dwarves like you or me. Well, mostly like me. But then, with enough time, wisdom, and hard work, they became deities themselves. It's quite a wonderful tale. In fact, there's actually more than 8, but most of us only worship the 8. The younger ones are nice and all, but it's the 8. Those were the original. She kind of gives you a big smile and kind of saunters off to help out another like customer who's kind of waving him on.
More. 2 more bites.
Two more bites? Oh, yes, yes. She pulls up 2 more tankards and just says, couple copper, that's all.
Okay, I'll leave the copper.
Yeah,
On there.
she sort of like nods and smiles, but then rushes over to help the other side of the counter.
Well, she's nice.
Yeah.
Vaguely racist, but
You grab the
gather those up.
You grab the
and
tankards.
make
You're
my
kind
way
of
over to the-
astonished at how heavy the actual
Yeah,
like
I was
tankards.
like-
You're kind of like, oh jeez.
He's gonna reach over and be like, do you want some help?
Yeah, you want to take the one I'm trying to hug because I don't think that's gonna work.
Don't.
Okay, there we go.
So she's
In a goofy display, you guys are like wandering over. Do you guys make your way to the table?
Yeah, that was my plan.
All right. You
I
see.
want to see if they remember us, and
Okay.
I want to ask how they got out of the thing. If
As
they
you-
remember us.
As you approach the table, you see that the Duragar fellow kind of like elbows one of the orcs, noticing that somebody's come by. He sort of straightens up, and you see his hands kind of slip out from the top of the table and kind of reach inside his pouch, like his kind of like cloak.
Yeah,
Like-
sure they're
Yeah.
on edge.
The orc kind of like turns around and goes, huh. Kind of looks at you guys. You guys are kind of standing there now. Like, you guys are like basically approaching, and they're kind of like all looking at you at this point.
Say,
How do you approach?
Gentlemen, good evening, and I'm just gonna set down like 2 of the pints that I have because I don't really drink, so I'm just
Yeah, you're just like,
so one of them's my free one, and then I'll put one down.
yeah.
Be like, I don't forgive us for intruding, but you really look like you could use a drink.
The 2 orcs kind of like eyeball
He's
you, and
gonna
you see their
quietly
eyes
just plot
widen.
the extra one
Yeah.
she's got in front of the dwarf.
Oh, okay, the dwarf still sits kind of like looming in the back. He's sort of in a weird shadowy position, but his eyes are still like kind of glowing in a sort of awkward,
Well,
like really intimidating thing. You can't quite see his face. You can see sort of his beard sort of like jutting out from the hood.
Do I get the
but-
impression that the orcs recognize us?
Make a wisdom check. I'm gonna have you make a wisdom check.
Wisdom check?
Yeah.
Okay.
You make a wisdom check, yeah.
I got it. Just a general wisdom check?
Yeah,
Okay.
make a general wisdom check.
Okay.
We'll keep it
Let
simple.
me get to the right page here. Okay, 16.
16? Okay. For a second, you see that the orcs, like, they initially don't think they recognize you, but then there's some sort of, like, there's a sort of glint of familiarity in the eye.
So
The taller orc, Kashro, kind of, like, stares at you. Or, wait, Digron was the larger one. Sorry,
Yeah.
Digron was the larger one.
Kashro
Yeah,
was
Kashrow's
the
the
one
main.
Castro's
yeah.
the twink.
Yeah, I got the names flipped. The angry one is Kashro, is Digron. So Digron kind of, like, looks at you a little bit and says, oh, interesting. Kind of stands up, and you kind of see him like sort of stand up. He is a big orc, and he kind of like looks at you and says, kind of looks at you.
Seeing a little bit of familiarity in their eyes, I'm gonna lean in and like try to be quiet because I don't know how much they're discussing or like whatever.
Yeah.
Just be like, by the way, have you found your brother yet?
Do you mention? Okay, so you remember the name is Zima is the brother. Do you want to mention?
I do not remember I don't have notes on the names. So I don't know if they told us that.
I actually don't remember if they told you the name.
I don't think they mentioned it.
Yeah, never mind.
His name.
Oh, you know what? I might have accidentally.
That their younger brother
They were
was
just crying
missing.
a bunch.
Brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say that, he kind of nods a little bit, and he kind of like motions for Castro to stand up, and Castro kind of gets up and kind of marches over. They both have sort of gruff faces. Diagron kind of like gives a knowing nod to Castro, and Castro kind of nods, and they kind of like sort of encircle you a little bit, and then they grab you and they go, "Our brother's still missing." And then you see like the tears kind of well up in Diagron's face.
He's crying again.
I told him I wouldn't cry when we got out of that hellish place, but it's good to see you, friends.
Yeah,
he kind of embraces,
kind of clap him each on the shoulder a little bit.
Diagron tries really hard. He's just like pouting at this point, to the point where the tavern kind of gets a little quiet, and people kind of like looking over at him. I'm not gonna cry.
I love these guys.
And then the tears just sort of ball down his eyes. He goes, "We're fine."
I gotta tell you, I was surprised to see you. We're relieved you got back.
Yes, it was amazing. It was like a dream. We spoke to you, and then before we knew it, we knew where to go, and we stepped out of that cursed tavern, and then we were charging through the forest, and creatures were pursuing us. Wasps, giant wasps, and suddenly...
those too, huh? Yeah.
Oh yes, dangerous fellas. Luckily, a little bit of fire magic and some steel. He kind of cracks his arm and then sort of shows off some of his muscles. His tears are still like pouring down his face. He's like
still
flexing,
crying V's just gonna quietly just produce like some cloth and just kind of.
Thank you. You are kind friends. I apologize. My brother and I barely remember your names. It's as if the memories are disconnected in ways.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We had weirdness when we woke up. I understand that. It's Dagon and Castro, right?
Yes. Castro kind of like pipes in a little bit. Says, "Yeah, we ran and the wasps. We fought several of them, and then suddenly we encountered the spirit of Asharn herself, the mother wolf. She snarled at us and breathed a breath of icy frost, slaying the wasps instantly. And then she bade us follow her. And so we did. Asharn, the wolf mother, speaking to us. Oh, our mission is truly one from the godsends.
Did she say her name was Gasma?
She did. She did, but we knew it was Asharn.
Yeah, that checks out.
She's told us
I was
that
gonna
her...
say, ice breathing wolf. That sounds familiar.
Like, yeah, she was like, just come with me, guys.
She told us that she needed our help. That her companion had been captured by the wasps, and that they had taken him. But as we pursued with her, we ran with her as we do, as the wolfborn would, as our ancient ancestors would have.
Yeah.
But that's when we encountered ourselves.
Tor's just kind of like nodding. He has no idea what they're
two
talking about.
two mighty orc warriors, a wizard and a warrior like us. But Asharn said we mustn't fight them. We must embrace their kind. And so we leapt at them, not out of fury, but out of love. And found ourselves here, just in the woods outside.
Oh.
And we knew we were back.
So that guy's definitely waspinated, right?
You see Castro kind of like look down where it says, "My brother Zima is strong. A wasp it would have to take 100 wasps to kill him. 100 dire wasps. No, 100 dire wasps."
I think there is quite a few more than that.
Bogey just looks back down into the ale. This whole thing has gotten awkward today.
Yeah. But yes, we we came back and we began the true hunt for Zima. That's our brother, our lost one. But Asharn was not to be found. So we now pursue Asharn and our brother, for she can lead us to him. They say that the woods here are connected to worlds beyond, and that the thicket you can get lost in, and the mist will take you. And so, here we are once more, hunting for our family.
Maybe be careful in those woods. You don't want to end up being, again.
You see the diagram kind of like wiping away his tears. He says, "Oh, but without it, we wouldn't have met you or the Wolf Mother."
I mean, that's true. We had our own, interesting time there.
Did you embrace yourselves as well? I see you are free from the place.
Oh, we
used cursed magic. Sip.
We used a lightly cursed mirror that we were told would get us out. Then it worked.
It worked.
Only lightly cursed. It wasn't too bad.
A cursed mirror. Oh.
There was a really nice squid lady.
Lightly cursed. Lightly.
Lightly. Either way, you're here now, and you're free from that prison.
Oh, my name's Torin, by the way.
Torin! He kind of grabs you and like embraces you.
Okay.
Says, Torin! Just kind of picks you up. You know that he is very strong. Just whoa! And effortlessly kind of like lifts you up. And he's wearing like half plate right now. Like he's got a massive pauldron, like big like
pressing into my sternum.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, this pauldron in my face. And you, Viksha! He grabs you.
She's gonna
holds you.
She's just kind of like cat slide out.
You like liquid. You kind of just go whoop. And she's yes. And you, young traveler.
My naming is Pahoki.
He
No.
kind of steps back a little bit. I understand.
Yeah. Right, because she's just like starts poking. Like
Pahoki's too small.
No, please.
No, thank you.
Oh, that little robot from the
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
anxiety bot.
Yeah. Oh,
No, thank you.
I love an anxiety bot.
Consent, please.
So, you've heard of our quest. What is yours? Let us know. We are companions here. Oh, sit. He kind of like motions towards the table. You know that the dwarf guy is gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. They kind of like, and as they turn around, Castro and kind of gives him a strange look. Says, "Looks like our contact has made himself a bit of a ghost." No matter.
I'm sorry, did we interrupt?
Oh. He kind of exchanges a look with Castro, and then Castro kind of nods, like, "We trust them." Just, "Come, sit."
They trust us separate meeting. It's like once.
They grab a few a few extra chairs, and then guys all kind of tightly pile around this circular wooden table in the corner of this stonework tap house.
Yeah, because you've got a giant orc and giant dragon boy.
Yeah.
And a moderately sized orc, which is still a large man.
Yeah. That was a contact of ours. Someone who said that he had some information that might be relevant to our searches. Kind of points down at a sort of a rough little map of the area. You note that it kind of shows sort of where you guys are, but again, it's kind of like really roughly written. You see circles with X's crossed on it throughout all the woods nearby, including like sort of the mountain that you guys are at, which is at the base of a mountain called Duluth Hollomheim, which is this large sort of. It's a traditional sort of hill dwarf settlement that's mostly been mined, not mined out, but mined through, and it's a currently active mine and refinery. But you see that several of the markings showcase that these guys have been traveling around and checking all the forests around there, and that the last spot, like the big circle, without the X's, it is the circle southward towards the direction where you guys are headed, in a place called the Dragon's Meat Foothills.
Okay.
He says, "That's our next big stop." He says that a lot of strange activity's been going about. He kind of looks around a little uncomfortably, trying to spot the dwarf fellow that they were speaking with. He says, "Don't trust that fellow. He's got information, but not maybe through savory channels. But
Sweet ones.
It's anything to find our little brother.
What did you say?
Sweet ones. Sweet ones. He kind of points at the map and says, our next stop is checking out the foothills here. That's actually where we came out originally. But we kind of got lost and tried to find Asharn, the wolf mother. Unfortunately, she was gone. So now we're going to try searching again, I suppose. Anything we can do. Finding our brother is the most important thing we got.
Sir, where did you lose him originally?
They sort of exchange like a sort of a sad look between the two brothers. We thought ourselves brave and mighty, and so we ventured northward to the Belsong Forest, a great wood that is deeply connected with the Fey world. It is a forbidden place where the arrows make their mark, as they say. A group called the Green March, a driven bunch of elves protect the woods with great prejudice. We initially thought we were being hunted by them, but soon found ourselves spirited away into this other realm. But apparently, that's what happens in the Great Woods. The Fey ones, at least. Kind of shakes his head and says, it was our hubris. We thought to make... or Castro kind of pipes up. It was our hubris. We thought to make a name for ourselves. A war band of 3 brothers conquering the mighty Belsong. Kind of shakes his head and says, we're young and foolish, and now our youngest brother has paid for this. And we will find him.
Can I ask what makes you think he's in these woods in particular?
Diagron kind of like smiles a little bit and says, it sounds strange, but while we were in the mists, we felt a calling of sorts. Something that said, this is where he is. And that's all we have to go by, but that's all we got. He kind of leans back. He's still smiling, but you still see like a few bubbles of tears kind of like welling up on his face. Now that you've got a better look at him, you see that like these are really young orcs. They're big, but they're really young orcs.
Yeah. Are we talking like teenagers, or are we talking?
You could guess that they're probably like the oldest one is probably about 24-ish.
No way. So
But
college age.
Yeah, like sort of like think college orcs.
College age boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually that puts them about V's age.
Yeah.
Because she's in her early 20s.
So you're saying they're frat orcs?
I mean, if
Frat
any
orcs?
of the fantasy races are going to be frat boys.
I'll give it to orcs. But the real another reason is that we believe that the spirit of Asharn is also within the woods, and she led us out, so she could probably lead us to our brother as well. And so we hope to find him in the foothills. Kind of nods. It's not the best plan you've heard, but it is something.
It's a good plan. It's one of the better plans Pahokie's heard.
V's gonna pull the map she's got out of her bag.
All right,
And
you
kind of compare
unravel.
it to the
Yeah,
map that they have.
you see that there's it is roughly translated, but it's basically the forest that they call the foothills area. Is just north of Dragon's Meat Mountain, which is like sort of the end peninsula where Dragon's Meat, the city, is proper. It's just on the outskirts. So it's on the way, but it definitely seems to match. Like as rough as their map is, it certainly matches enough that you can kind of do a 1-to-1 comparison.
Okay, so it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, as for our own business, we're just headed into Dragon's Meat.
Ooh, big city.
Definitely, from what I've heard, it's gonna be weird.
He kind of like you see
not used to big cities.
It's different. We in the Orc lands, a region called Volcar, there is one major Orc city called 100 Clans. It's the one place where several clans gather, hence the name. And it is an astonishing place, but nothing more than maybe 10,000 or 50,000 orcs at any time. Cashro kind of pipes in and says, 50,000 during the festivals, of course, not during normal times. This city, Digron pipes up again, this city, 1,000,000 strong. There hasn't been a horde that size since the Second Great Orc War. Kind of points at Cashro, and Cashro kind of nods. And then you kind of hear some dwarves sort of clinking, like some tankards in the back, and they kind of call out, says, 1,000,000 strong orcs, and they still lost to the dwarven hammers. The Digron kind of turns and says, yeah, well, I could take you. And they kind of, the dwarf who spiked up has like a big fiery red hair and a big fiery red beard and sort of pale skinny. He hops on a table and says, I bet you could, or maybe you can't like your ancestors didn't. And the Digron sort of stands up and says, do you want to fight here? Axe on axe? And then the dwarf says, no, mead fight.
Mead fight? Oh, they're gonna have a drinking competition.
Suddenly you hear just in the distance, like a sort of a low rumble, the dwarves are beginning to sing in unison. Mead. Mead, 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 and then like the woman from the this little bartender lady kind of stands up with a tray of 2 giant flagons of mead, and she says, "Mead fight!" A table gets produced in the center. Several dwarves push things out of the way, and Digron stands up. And then the dwarf on the table kind of hops down. The two of them sort of size each other up. The dwarf obviously going only to the waist of Digron as a full-fledged orc. The two of them nod.
Are they actually going to try to kill each other with the mead?
I assume so.
To my understanding, it's really more of who can drink more before they either pass out or vomit. But that's also based on a tradition that we have in my homeland. I don't know if it's different here. Maybe they're going to punch each other with it. But
I'm going to stand closer to the wall.
Yeah.
I don't want to get vomited.
You're kind of already at the wall. You're kind of scooting back.
Look at
Scooting to the wall.
A little closer.
Yeah, so he's going to look at Kasha and go, so is your brother a strong drinker?
You see Kasha just go, mead fight, mead fight. He's just kind of in the chanting.
She's just going to flick him in the side of the head.
Well,
How does your brother hold his mead?
I don't know. I've never seen one of these before.
You've never seen your brother drink?
Yes, and yes, yeah. Hoki's gonna mead fight. So the two combatants march towards each other. They stand about 4 feet apart. They sort of stand there, sizing each other up, and then
Torrin's also in the back because I can see over.
yeah. You can kind of stand over, but the crowd is getting like hyped up. They're sort of chanting.
Yeah, but they're dwarves. I can see over the top.
Yeah, exactly.
I think even I could see over.
Oh yeah, all of you guys can comfortably
Because the
see.
dwarves are how tall are dwarves?
They're about
Except for
4
Bogi.
feet.
That's
4 feet or
okay.
so are the tallest ones. You note that some of the ones with fiery and blonde hair are a little bit taller than the other ones, but
he's only a little
not
over
by
5
much.
foot,
Yeah,
so-
no,
okay,
you're
she's
easily
taller.
a head. You're easily like 2 or 3 heads taller
Okay,
than
I got
them.
too hyped trying to write mead fight. Mead
All right,
fight.
and V's gonna take out her notebook and be like, "All right,
Yeah,
well,
all right,
Getting
time to
as
describe
close
this.
to the table as I can.
The two combatants
elbows.
sizing themselves each other up. Suddenly, you hear just sort of like a snarl, and both of them just roar at each other. The orc like spitting like a strange orcish curse, and the dwarf responding in kind. And then they sort of like straighten back up, and they begin to take off their armor. And you see pauldrons smashing against the ground, and suddenly the two men are just standing there in their underwear, barely covered.
This is okay.
The dwarf kind of approaches, holds out his arm, and the orc like takes a step forward and grabs it.
Kinda
They
looks at me and
squeeze each other, and you
"Well,
see
I guess-
sweat.
I guess it won't get vomit on the clothes.
Well, I just like that. Is that really necessary? I don't know. I think it might be.
The two men
I'm
are
not
very
upset about
well, like they're very muscular fellows. They they have some battle scars here and there, but mostly they're kind of glistening and almost like kind of like sweat and whatnot. They start to kind of flex at each other, and then finally,
How did they get so?
they almost look like they've been oiled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did they? Are they about to wrestle?
I don't know. It feels like they oiled up for this. I don't know how that helps you drink better.
Mead fight.
Mead fight.
I normally if you're that wet, you it's wrestling, right? No? Do they not?
Torrin's just confused.
Yeah. you hear the woman behind you. Oh no! Wrestling is much different from this one. This is a classic mead fight.
Is this a drinking battle?
Oh, yes! It's basically whoever's constitution will outlast the other. Oh, I do love seeing it.
Alright, so it's very... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with this.
Finally, the two sit down at the table. They grab the giant tankards. And both of them kind of, like, peek up over it. Like
it's that big?
Like, it's that big.
Wow.
To the point that the dwarf has to kind of, like, peek to the side of it. And they go, on the count of 3. And he speaks 3 in Dwarven. And the orc says 2 in Orcish. And then both of them at the same time say 1 in their respective languages. And then, whoa! And you just hear this, almost like a wave of water just... And then
Jesus.
the crowd begins to go nuts. You note that, like, the sides of the tankards are kind of, like, made with a little bit of glass to kind of showcase the amount of liquids. Yeah, exactly. You can see the level. And both are just guzzling it down with very little runoff. They're very good at this.
Even with all those... Even with the tusks,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Even with the tusks, he's like, it's almost like it's hooking onto the sides even.
Yeah.
And then the dwarf's beard almost seems to be like a sponge keeping it like in place. About the halfway mark, you suddenly hear the tavern person, like the tavern maiden, kind of shout out, "Bets now! Right now! It's at the halfway mark! You've seen their fortitude! Now place your coin where your money stands!"
With who?
She points and is like, "There's 2 choices here."
Who do we place the bet with?
Me! She holds out her hand.
I'll put a silver on the orc.
Silver on the orc! Odds are 3 to 1 on him! Are you in?
I imagine I had to kind of chuck it at her though, because I'm against the wall.
You see several dwarves like holding up like dwarven coins, which are like kind of these square and like sort of, they look like square like metal banknotes and stone notes. The gold is different. Like you guys have like circular coins. They hold up these like not triangular, rectangular like little cards almost.
Okay.
And she's been collecting them and she's like pointing out and like shouting out like 10 gold on the dwarf, 7 gold on the orc. What would your ancestors think?
I just put a silver on it.
Yeah. A lot of money is being collected right now, and the numbers are going wild.
How much for one of the meads?
She kind of looks at you and says, "During a mead fight, mead is free!"
Yeah! Bring me the mead the size of me!
She goes, "Okay!" Pour it on her!
Mead fight! Mead fight!
V's going to take advantage of the free mead. And
Okay,
try it.
you take this.
She was like, she likes to sample like local foods and beers. So
You will be the orc,
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'll
Nobody
be the
else?
dwarf.
Alright.
So they hit about 1/4 left, and you start to hear burping and like sort of like hiccuping. Both of them are kind of like wavering a little bit.
Got it.
These are giant tankards. Suddenly, they roll. Oh!
13, 16.
Oh no! At first, you see the orc kind of like sort of takes the lead, but then the dwarf sort of, for a second, like kind of slows down, but then like his eyes light up and a strange ember fire sort of bursts from him, and he just starts to dunk it down, leaning back on his stool that he's sitting on, and it's at such an angle, and you hear the rush of mead pouring down his throat to such an extent that you're like, his throat has to just be open somehow.
I've seen someone. Do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And he goes, whoa! Poof, slams it on the table, finishing roughly 3 seconds before the orc, who then slams his on the table.
I was rolling for the orc.
Oh, you were rolling for the orc!
That's the
Never
orc.
mind, the orc! Flip the rolls over! The orc slams
that
his
reverse.
down 3 seconds before the dwarf. The 2 of them, sit and stare. They're holding on to like the giant tankards for stability. The orc kind of stands up and says, "As per the agreement, we must now stand and do the line." The 2 of them, the dwarf kind of nods and says, "Yes, lad, you know the rules good." Kind of stands up, and the 2 of them stand facing the audience, like from the circular table. The woman the woman barkeep hops down. She takes out an axe, slashes a line across the stonework, says, "Now you dance to the line, no vomiting, and you win. First one to cross." She steps back. The dwarf kind of like slaps his chest as, and he begins the dance. The orc nods, slicks his hair back, goes, "For the wolf mother!" And he also does the dance. They both do these, like, basically these like hakas, like, towards the stance, and people are cheering. They're going nuts. Like, yes, yes. All right, one more roll.
Oh, jeez, all right.
Oh no!
Oh, and I rolled shit, but it still wasn't that shit.
Did you nat one the dwarf?
Nat one. Okay,
dwarf.
so about the halfway mark, the orc, you see him kind of wavering. His haka kind of stumbles a little bit, but he recovers. Like, you know,
He
looks
like,
like,
"Come on, Dagon!"
you see like a big bubbling. You see kind of like almost like the air itself, kind of like bubbling up through his throat, and then he just lets out a horrible belch. It echoes into the chamber. And he's about to trip though,
His ears
and he's like, yeah, you're like, oh, and you can smell it. It's like, oh. The dwarves love it. They're cheering for it. And you see the orc, he kind of like stumbles back a little bit, and you see he's about to fall. But instead, he turns right on his ankle and spins around and hops the rest of the way on one foot. The dwarf, the dwarf steps forward, and at the halfway mark, he's, you see his stern face and his beard sort of like soaked in sweat and ale and dripping, and then suddenly he steps forward and says, "Oh, ancestors!" and just vomits ale and falls over on his back. The crowd roars once more as the orc crosses the finish line. Triumphant!
Yeah.
He stands, and then the bar maiden comes up behind him and says, "And today, on the site of the waning moon of Luneth, before the 8 ancestor gods, and those who would worship at their feet, at their beard, at their stones, the winner!" You hear the orc just shout out in a weird primal fury. And then he kind of sits down for a moment and says, Oh dear.
You gonna make it?
Yeah, he lets out another horrible belch, and the dwarves, they begin to kind of clap, and each of them sort of like gather around. A bunch of the other dwarves sort of pick up the guy on the ground as he's like vomit is all over the floor. This awful smell of mix of
Vomit
whatever he
beer?
ate, the several kinds of alcohol mixing in his system, and then just sad shame. They sort of drag him off, and you see like a bunch of water being kind of brought over to him. Some of the dwarves are kind of like giggling, saying, "Water drinker." But the other, like, you see that Daigron is getting a lot of pats on the back, and every pat he's like inching closer to sort of vomiting. You see the color, his sort of like gray-green skin sort of like shifting to a more bright hue, and with every slap on the back as the dwarves' victory. They acknowledge when there's a tough foe, and they do it proudly. And they kind of shake with him. It's like, yeah, yes, this guy. One dwarf kind of comes up and just pats like Dogron's belly, and Dogron's like, help!
He's gonna come up and be like, yes, great victory, and she's gonna cast Lesser Restoration on him. Yes! Yeah!
With a nice one.
He's blinded, deaf, and paralyzed, or poisoned. Drunk is just poison.
Yeah, it's just so you clap a paw on the back of Daigron, and you suddenly see like his sickening face kind of ease up, and the color kind of like restoring to normal.
Keep
and he
it
kind
in,
of
buddy, keep it in.
He kind of grabs you and kind of brings you close and says, "Thank you! Oh, good friends!" Kind of stands up.
V's just gonna like try and like claw her way upwards.
You kind of snake your way a little bit loose, and he kind of like, kind of lets you hop off. Like, let's say like you get, because he's like sitting down, and he grabs you. You kind of use his knee to kind of bounce yourself out of there.
It's like, oh, you are slick.
Like, oh, it's the grace of my ancestors.
Oh, don't say that.
Don't say it like that.
kind of stands up, and you see like the crowd is sort of dispersed right now. People are now like singing stories about what just happened just moments
Did I
ago.
win any money?
Oh yeah. She kind of you see the woman kind of like approach you, and she kind of hands you 3 silver like little tablets. Says, "Here you go. You did wonderful out there. Good call on that." Dwarven Press.
No idea, but
Worth 3 silver each. That's 9 silver. Your payment in Thrace.
awesome. Thank you.
Yes. So you basically get 9
Up
silver.
8 silver,
Yeah.
Technically, I'm up 8 because I gave her 1.
I'm wondering if Pahokee can get through one of the giant
It's
beads.
it's extraordinarily large.
Perfect. I'm gonna keep trying.
Make a Constitution check.
Heck yeah, I'll make.
Roll to see if I'm drunk.
V's gonna try and find a straw so Pahokee.
Yeah, I was just thinking like.
otherwise Pahokie's just gonna be. Actually, no, it'd be very funny
I'm
to watch.
probably already climbing in there.
Yeah,
Climbing in it. She's just,
I rolled a 17.
oh.
Side note: Tori's actually been drinking water this whole time.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
He's not drinking any meal with me.
Yeah.
17. That's enough to get, let's say, like a 4th down.
Woo!
So you'll have to do a Constitution save. Now you'll have to do 3 more Constitution saves. The next one. Do you want to drink all of it? Is what I'm asking.
Woo!
Make another Constitution save.
10.
Okay, you make it down, but you're gonna need to make 2 more saves, and the rest have disadvantage now.
Oh shit. 17, but 20. So
17.
So 17.
You're 2/3 of the for 2.
Yeah, this is the last one.
10, but it's 10.
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys.
Pahokee can hold
yeah,
the
you guys
liquor.
kind of turn around and you just note that Pahokee sticks their head in a like one of the
I
giant
start to climb
tankards.
in.
Yeah,
Just
at
and
some
then
point.
you can see the liquid actually going down as Pahokee's sinking further. Like their head is sinking further and further in. You see their little goat feet kind of dangling at the top. The bush kind of like getting more and more moist.
V's just watching
And
this
then-
in like horror.
Yeah, and then they make it all the way to the bottom.
V's just gonna very carefully grab the feet.
You
And
grab
just
the two.
lift her straight out.
So Pahokee is much heavier than they were before, but they have kept it down, and you just see the Pahokee kind of coming up, and you just hear a mid-fight.
And
Where's the dance line?
gently set her on the floor.
Can I see the dance line?
You can see it, but now the crowd of people have kind of gathered around it, so it's not a straight shot.
That's fine. I'm going.
Make a performance check.
Okay. I'm gonna use the gold
V's
one.
just gonna
Sparkly.
try to start waving at people, be like.
I rolled a 9. What goes into a performance?
It's a charisma check.
Oh, I have good charisma. 9 to 11.
Okay, alright, you made it to 11.
I made 12.
Suddenly you see
12. It's 12.
12, okay. So Viksha starts to motion towards some of the dwarves that are lined up to move out of the way. The dwarves are impressed by this, and they're kind of clapping along.
Is
You hear
she
them
just
singing some
wet?
traditional.
It's splattering.
Yeah, she's just
everywhere.
splattering, but doing her little dance, going towards the axe line. Make one more check.
I gotta
Make
swerve
a
around
Constitution
the people.
check. This is a Constitution check.
Okay. I'm gonna use the purple one. For
Okay.
Constitution.
Let's see the purple one.
I rolled 14.
14.
So that's 17 plus your modifier.
Constitution.
Yeah, her con
Constitution.
modifier is 3.
No, it isn't.
Oh, it's
0.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
zero.
Charisma's 3, yeah. So that's still 14, though.
Yeah,
Still
that's
14.
actually kind of enough in a weird way. And suddenly, the crowd is amped up once more as Pahokee crosses the finish line, having finished their dance, and your dance has got a lot more hops in it based on your little goat feet.
Goat feetsies. Imagine
And-
the Macarena, but more hopping.
Tori
And
just goes,
silly-
Pahokee!
You hear Daigron kind of stand up, and he kind of marches over as this. It kind of lifts you up and puts you on their shoulder. You're like, this is a warrior!
No! Shaky fight! Splatters!
That meat fight is getting meat everywhere. The dwarves seem to love it, by the way.
Meeks is just She's backed up over by Torin now, so she doesn't get sprayed more.
Yeah,
I'm just against the wall.
Yeah, she's like, well,
It's the safest spot.
I thought the whiskey consumption
Location.
I was impressed about the whiskey consumption, but this is something else. Just drank its entire weight in mead.
Yeah. Where is that even going?
Well, we don't know what she looks like. I mean, do you know what she looks like?
Your belly is
No, that's true.
right now.
That's true.
You see Daigron kind of like get his way over to like getting through the crowd of people like patting backs and stuff like that.
Does he put his clothes back on
Yeah,
yet?
you note that he's got his stuff has been collected by his brother, but he's still kind of just in his underwear.
Well, I don't know if he could get his armor
Yeah.
back on with the distension.
Yeah, you can
Wait,
see
actually,
a
no,
clear.
though. With the lesser restoration, he's fine now.
Yeah. Oh, so the liquid is still inside of him,
Oh, yeah.
but it is neutralized in a way.
But yeah, now he's not vomiting.
Yeah. He looks at you all and says, "It's decided then. We'll travel with you to Dragon's Meat." Kind of grabs your arm and shakes it. We'll be ready in the morning. I must find an outhouse. Oh.
Yeah.
He kind of slurches.
Okay.
I'll go with ya.
Come on, little one. Come on, little warrior.
Splarsh! Did we agree to that? When did we agree to that?
I mean, I was just okay. I was just
You know,
asking to see if they got their brother back, but okay.
I believe we're friends now.
You see Thaddeus kind of shuffle his way over to all of you. He's kind of like reloading his pipe. He says, "Oh, hey, did I miss any commotion?"
You missed a meat fight.
You missed a meat fight.
Damn, always miss the mead fight. Well. I'll be up in my room. I'm turning in early.
Okay, apparently there's gonna be a couple orcs joining us tomorrow. Okay, bye!
That makes sense to me.
He's just gonna. I really hope he finds a pond. Because 3-day-old meat is not a good smell.
Oh.
Also, imagine how sticky that's gonna be inside there right now.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm good.
And then he's just gonna kind of like sniff or something. Oh, I smell like orc sweat. I gotta go take a bath.
You note that there's like a particular tuft of your fur that's just wet. Like
Wet.
it's all wet up like a giant dog has licked you, but it was just the glistening muscles of his greasy
Yeah, and
work.
she's just like,
It's got an aroma.
yeah. She's just like,
it smells like the mountains and triumph, but it's also very foul.
it's like it smells like mountains and tribe, but also unwashed arse. He's like, actually, I'm going to go find a bath or a river or something.
Something to wash yourself. You actually, as you kind of exit the tap room area, you kind of like, ask some of the staff where the washrooms are. They actually kind of point you towards like a relatively nice like area that has heated water. The dwarves seem to be known for their kind of like engineering prowess, and so you're able to
real
wash
bathroom.
yourself in a way. Yeah. They have sort of like a little, like, there's sort of outhouses out in an area, like, kind of outdoorsies, but there's also, like, sort of running water, like, sort of like a pipe with a valve on it that spits out some fresh mountain spring on it.
Just hear in the distance, meat fight!
Mead fight! You kind of hear the yellings of mead fight as you find like Daigron trying to wash himself on one of the like one of the pipes nearby.
Too
Pahokee
short.
kind of like nearby, sort of like wiggling their arms, and then Daigron saying like, "Come on, we gotta wash ourselves." Oh.
Torin, being left on his own in the tavern, is going to pick up one of the beads and try it.
Okay, you smell it. It's very strong, very strong aroma. And you kind of like, you take your tongue out, you kind of give it a little blip, and then you kind of you're about to dunk it, and you hear Ka, who has been with you the entire time, but just kind of quiet.
I forgot he was with us!
Yeah.
I didn't. Boom kept throwing in little yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I tried to throw little hints that Ka was sort of there.
I completely spaced it.
And Ka goes, yes, and he like grabs the bottom of the tankard and like sort of dips it upward. And you take a big gulp. You're like, whoa!
Okay.
It burns initially, and it continues to kind of burn on its way in. The flavor is, it's very like, it's a cheap ale, a cheap mead.
I'm gonna go from
with a
just
very
my own personal
herby
experience,
taste.
but he probably likes it more than the one time he tried ale.
You probably did. Like, the mead is a bit more refined, but it has a very earthy flavor to it. It's almost like taking a bite of the ground, and then there's alcohol splashing in.
Well, meat is
That's
sweet.
interesting.
Yeah. But this one, very
Earthy.
very earthy. Kaga's, ha, yeah?
So, okay, so my character does not drink. So
Yeah.
Usually, can I see how bad that would affect him? The one mead? I want to know if he's like a one hit.
Let's make a Constitution
Okay.
save.
One hit wonder.
One hit wonder. We're gonna give it to you on a
Hey.
neutral roll.
Because it'd be like, yeah, one hit wonder Wendy.
Just a Constitution check?
Yep, just a
or-
Constitution check.
10.
All right, you take it, and initially you're like you're almost like lightheaded, and you're kind of like already sort of like feeling drunk, and your arms feel like they're longer than they were, and the room is starting to kind of like wiggle a little bit, but then you kind of stabilize. You use your tail kind of like slits down and kind of helps position yourself, almost like nature, like kind of
Like a
like takes
tripod.
over. Yeah,
Tripod.
and then you realize, oh, it's very similar to being on a boat, but on land.
Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah. But you kind of like, you just took a big gulp, but it was like your first big dwarven gulp.
Oh, I thought he made me drink the whole thing. That's
Oh,
what
no,
I
no,
was
no.
like-
Oh, if he made you drink the whole thing,
That's
you
what
can...
I was wondering.
Oh!
I was like, did he make me drink the whole thing?
Roll another one then. Roll another one.
Okay. Oh, better.
Oh!
That was actually 22.
All right. So the shaking is still happening, and you're kind of like swooshing around, and you feel pretty good. You feel the tension in your joints kind of ease up a little bit. Your knees feel a little bit wobbly, and although you're still standing with the aid of your tail, you find you kind of like look down at like the tankard, and you see it's empty, a little bit of froth at the bottom, kind of bubbling at you, and it's almost like just singing at you, and you kind of feel like the rhythm of the dwarves as they're kind of like doing the chanting, and they're sort of like singing old dwarf songs in the background, and you begin to kind of sway a little bit with the music. Your tail naturally kind of like sort of
Start
gliding
dancing in
along
the
with the
corner.
rhythm.
He's like gonna
And-
come out of the bathroom
Yeah.
all puffy and just.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
dancing with Ka in the corner. Like,
so you're outside. You take some measure to avoid Digron and Pahokee kind of washing themselves, and you're kind of like still wet, and you're kind of like wiping off your paws as you're coming inside, and then you just see sort of Torin sort of dancing with the tankard, kind of like slow dancing a little bit, like going back and forth. Their eyes a little bit bloodshot from some of the ale consumption, and then Ka kind of like under them, sort of like waving around like in a very similar motion. Suddenly, several of the dwarves sort of take this opportunity to start to stand up and kind of dance as well. And so you kind of just come back, you're kind of like wiping off your paws, and you look up and you're like, oh, and everyone just kind of like slow dancing a little bit by themselves.
is there any music?
There's just the humming of the like dwarven hymns in the background,
okay,
which
something.
actually
There's something, that's fine.
reverberate into a kind of a nice, soft, like gentle melody that you kind of
He's
like
gonna-
feel a sort of like
Just
rhythm
like,
to.
like in the corner, like,
He's just gonna kind of watch the people dancing and just go ahead and find a spot and pull out her sitar and start playing something that kind of matches the way people are moving
Yeah,
around.
you pull out an instrument, and you kind of pluck a string, and you kind of just test it. You're for a second. It's really you're tuning it, but you pluck the string, and the sound kind of reverbs gently with the humming. Some of the other dwarves kind of like their eyes and their beards sort of turn to face you. One of them kind of like steps. Like kind of motions themselves towards you, holding like a tankard themselves, and then they kind of nod, and you begin to kind of play, sort of like you don't know any dwarven songs, but you understand the rhythm,
Yeah.
right? So you begin to kind of string your instrument. You begin to play this gentle melody that matches the humming, and then one of the dwarves that walks up to you begins to kind of like belt out like a beautiful dwarven song that is all in dwarven. Does anybody know dwarven?
I don't
I
think
don't
I
think
do.
so.
Okay,
hang on.
it's all in dwarven, but the melody is just,
No,
it's
I
almost
don't
like
know.
hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah.
Just this. and then slowly several other dwarves kind of join in on the melody, and it becomes this kind of choir, this song that kind of like infects the room in a soft, gentle like squeeze. You as you're playing it, you get
far
this
over the Misty Mountains.
you get the sense it's a sad song. You get the sense it is a sad song, but it is a sad song that they take as these were the old times, but the new time, but currently it's not this way anymore.
Yeah.
And you feel like as you're strumming the instrument, you kind of get lost a little bit. Make a performance check.
I'm still just holding.
Yeah, you're just kind of holding it. And you kind of look up as you hear the sitar kind of like glide into the song, and then you're like, yeah, I know that.
I've heard that noise before.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you say it was performance.
A performance check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Okay. That is a 17.
17, alright. Yeah. So as you're playing it, you do get the sense that it's a sad song. So you kind of like slowly, without like jumping to it, kind of go into sort of like a deeper, like kind of like strumming. And suddenly you see like, you can feel this, almost like feeling the history of dwarves kind of sort of like lamenting about something lost, and you're catching just bits of it just on context and the way that people are reacting, and the people just holding up their mugs, kind of just swaying it back and forth. As Digron and Pahokee kind of step back in, and they kind of know what's happening, and Digron kind of like holds up a tankard and kind of like sways in the same motion, and basically for the next hour or so, this weird hymn just gets sung out. This sort of like you note
it's an epic story.
Yeah, it's exactly like dwarven songs and poets are very long, and they start with like the birth of like an ancestor, and it leads into the story of love and loss and conflict and resolution and retribution, and finally it ends. And the dwarf kind of like, and the dwarf stops singing, and so you kind of instinctively know to kind of like strum the music into kind of like a lull. Just let the notes kind of hang for a moment, and it is a quiet in the tavern. And the dwarf holding the tankard kind of puts it to his chest. He says, "The story of Meadheim and the brew queens from beyond." It kind of bows, and all the dwarves begin to kind of clap, and everyone sort of like claps and cheers. Several
note about the name of this ballad that she's just heard.
Several dwarves kind of approach, and they begin to kind of like offer bits of silver tabs. You gain.
Oh jeez, okay.
Yeah, you got a 17. You got a 17. Yeah. You gain. So you get 9 silver tabs. Each silver dwarven tab is worth 3 silver.
So that's
each.
18.
Yeah. So it's 18 silver. Basically, you get 18 silver.
I get 9 tabs.
You get 9 tabs. Yeah.
Oh, that's 27.
Oh yeah. Sorry, 3. Yeah, 27 silver.
So I did not just pull up a calculator.
Sorry, I was going to say 18. I got 6 for a second. I got it flipped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 9 dwarf silver.
Silver tabs. Yeah. You can also just call it dwarf silver.
Yeah, this is plus 9 dwarf silver.
You're not sure what happens in the next couple hours, but you find yourselves in your rooms, kind of like.
I would say at any point during the night, if like a happy beat caught up, I'd probably end up grabbing Con, just kind of like bouncing around.
You guys basically sort of party for the rest of the night, and
he's just in the corner, just like, all right,
strumming. Yeah, that's cool.
At one point, maybe she'll like bust out some fucking banga.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so amazing. At some point during the night, like Castro like mentions a certain kind of orcish tune. You're not really familiar with it, but he kind of gives you an idea of it, and you guys kind of workshop
with
it a little bit.
With some general orc knowledge.
Yeah.
Try to be like, let me figure it out.
So,
not gonna miss. I'm kind of picturing like Farm Square Day. I kind of grab her.
Yeah, people
dancing around.
Yeah, that definitely goes down. A lot of the dwarves are jolly folk. So, you're not sure how you ended up in there, but you're back. You're in your. I guess it's your room. You're not sure. You didn't make the reservation, but Thaddeus is asleep in a bed nearby, so it must be.
Okay.
But you guys find yourselves tired and restful, and kind of in like beds, and then kind of like sort of giggling about Digron and Gashro, kind of like nearby, not in the same room, but kind of like, they went up the stairs with you guys, and they kind of are resting in their own place. And the sound of like the tavern below, the tap house below, still kind of like singing and merriment, but kind of much softer now. Very like a lot of dwarves have gone to bed, but there's a few kind of like mainstays for the rest of the night. But you guys place your heads down and rest and sleep.
Great.
And have a wonderful evening.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, with a long rest, do I get any of my HP back?
Yes, you get, I'm gonna say you guys get everything back, for a long rest. Traditionally, the long rest is more like you'll get, like, hit dice back. You won't get all of your health back. But right now, you guys have had, like, a few days of rest. So I'm gonna say...
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was
Back and full.
I was a little less than half.
Yeah.
Yay!
You guys wake up in the morning. The gentle, cawing of a nearby,
Emil?
Emil poking at the window, trying to be let out. Normally, like the windows are easy to open, but the dwarven ones have like locks and stuff on them. They're more engineered.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Open the
Waiting
window.
for you figure it out. You're not sure what you're doing. You just kind of flip some like knob, and then you kind of pat it a little bit. You see another knob, you have to twist that open, and then you kind of push open the door. You're not sure you did it right because there's a weird metallic noise of some.
Broke the window.
Yeah, like. Ugh. But Emil kind of like flutters outward, and you hear Emil kind of like cawing. He's like, "Ah, finally!"
I need to go
Sorry.
Yeah.
There are chicken nuggets here.
Oh yeah. Would you like some? Those are for sharesies. So that's for everybody.
I don't want any. I already ate 10.
I want nuggies.
I ate 10 as well.
I'll steal a nuggie. Nuggies. Nuggie. Got it.
As you guys are just waking up.
She's in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, she's in the bathroom. Yeah. Is there anything you guys want to do? Like the two of you, both of you feel wildly refreshed, but you also kind of like
Ow!
you kind of have hangovers in a way, but it's not a terrible hangover. It's more one where you're like, man, a greasy egg sounds really good right now.
Pokey always wants a greasy egg or a greasy potato.
Oh
Or-
yeah. Or just butter covered potatoes.
I'm sure that Pahokee wouldn't waste too much time in just starting to root around for food.
Oh yeah. So Pahoku, you kind of pick yourself up. You're in your ghillie suit. It's somehow refluffed and cleaned on the inside.
Yeah,
You don't really remember how that happened, but you know that you're clean now.
that's fine.
And yeah, you kind of like march your way out of the room, just kind of kick the door open and then just kind of run downstairs,
It's time for potato.
You're able to order breakfast for yourself.
Wonderful.
Do you want to order for the room or do you want to just order for yourself?
I will definitely continue to order food until there's enough for the room.
Okay. The patron at the tavern below is the same woman from last night. She apparently just doesn't sleep. She looks at you and says, "I can get the entire room ready for you if you want." Yeah.
Yeah!
Oh.
I could eat a room of food.
Oh, I meant for the rest of the guests. How much do you need?
At this point, I think Torin would stumble down.
Yeah, you kind of like come out like you've got a bit of a headache. You're feeling a little groggy. You rested well. Your body feels fine, but your brain is on fire.
Torin, you can get a room
Things
of
are
food
bright.
here.
Huh?
They can serve you a room of food.
Ooh. I don't think I need that much. Do you have like some sort of just greasy cut of meat I can get?
That's a traditional breakfast, of course.
Hey.
I'll get you your room ready of food.
Water skin.
Yeah, you kind
Just
of
drinking
dunk.
some
Yeah,
water.
yeah. As you like dunk it, like as you're like lifting it up, it's heavy. But as you squeeze it, you realize, oh, you drank it in the middle of the night.
Damn it.
But luckily, there is a jar of water in the room itself.
Okay. Are we in the room or are we
Yeah,
downstairs?
you guys are. You're kind of like outside the room.
Oh, did I
right.
miss some
Leaning
stuff?
us.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
we
no,
just
nothing
waking up
important.
and looking for hangover
Pahoki's
food.
getting breakfast.
Oh yeah, because Pahoki's hungover.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my maybe.
Oh hey, actually, the long rest means I got that spell that I used to.
Yeah, you guys get your magics back. Within about 6 to 10 minutes, sure enough, like several dwarven what do they call those people? That help
Servers?
servers? Yeah, servers come rattling at your door, with presenting large trays of like hearty breakfast foods and greasy, like basically toasted bread with like cheese and like oil and butter melted on with like bacons, like 3 kinds of bacon layered on top, like bunch of like fried eggs with like different like strange smelling spices. Like they kind of fall into sort of the dwarven wheelhouse of flavors. A lot of spicy things as well. A lot of things are like spiced up with like red powders. There's a large bowl of, instead of bread, it's like a bowl of like steamed mushrooms from the deep. And you guys basically have your fill of this, like, kind of very hearty breakfast. There's a lot there. I don't know how much you guys will eat, but a few bites of some of the things kind of fills you up fast.
Just enough to feel better.
You note that Thaddeus isn't there. His bed is already, like, sort of, like, is kind of unmade, and his equipment is missing. But, He's probably just downstairs, like, gathering things and getting things ready.
Ass donkey.
I like the donkey. It is definitely cursed.
Definitely a cursed donkey.
It's certainly a weird ass.
Like, I've heard of
Hey!
some mushrooms in the forest that you shouldn't be eating, and I think that donkey is eating them. Liberally so.
Liberally so.
Liberally so.
You guys make your way downstairs, and if there's nothing else you guys want to do or prep or anything like that in the room.
I think Tahoki is ready for...
Thank you, Adam! Thank you for that tier 1 sub!
Adam.
Yes, we made affiliate!
We did. I need to make some stickers. And
Yeah, we don't have any
cute
actual
little emotes and cutenesses.
stuff yet.
But we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But anyways, I think Pahoki is gonna be very refreshed and ready to travel on to a city that they
Do not understand.
V's gonna look around and see if Dagger
Thank you.
and Castron are out.
Yeah, so you see them outside near the wagon, and you see them kind of loading up a few things. And most of their equipment seems to be just traveling gear. Like they've got like backpacks like you guys have, like
That's true. These are
adventure,
orcs, they could
yeah.
probably carry a lot.
yeah. Like it's not, they're very, like I said, light travelers, but
say good
hardy
morning.
folk.
Yeah.
They kind of, the orcs kind of wave wave on with a big fist and kind of like pound their chest and kind of motion towards you guys.
V's gonna come up. How's the stomach feeling, Dagron?
He kind of grabs his belly and says, "Oh, gonna need to walk this one off." But it's a good evening.
It's like, it's definitely a lot. A lot.
Oh, yes, quite a bit. Oh, we made a friend last night. He kind of motions towards that. It's that dwarf from last night, the one with the fiery red hair.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
The one that meat fighted?
yeah, the meat fight.
They
orc.
became friends in the
Yeah.
most anime of ways.
Yeah, he's standing with them proud. The two of them are kind of like doing buddy hits on each other. The dwarf kind of like motions. He kind of saunters forth. And says, name's Dorcock.
Okay.
Dorkoth.
Dorcock.
I was gonna say, did you
Dorkoth. I meant to say
Dorcoff?
Dorkoth.
Oh, Dorcoff.
Dorkoth.
Say that
Say that once again.
Dorcoff.
Dorkoth.
Okay, I was like, I'm sorry. Dorcoff? Dorcoff. Okay.
Dorkoth. Yeah.
Alright, dork.
Yeah.
Are you going on a super cool adventure into a city that sounds really weird and scary?
The dwarf kind of looks at you a little bit, kind of side eyes you, says, "No, I'm helping a friend find his lost brother."
Oh. Yeah, that sounds the same way. I think. Right? I don't care.
Yes, they're stopping
believe
at
it's all the
the
way.
woods outside the city.
Oh, good. Okay.
So might as well travel together, right?
Strength in numbers. That's the best we got. The dwarf kind of stands there. He's got his own. He actually seems to be he seems to dual wield axes. He's got a bunch of them kind of like crisscross on his gear.
Nice.
And says, so How'd you meet our orc friends, eh?
Oh, well, there was this horrible dream-cursed skin forest, and we hung out there.
We met them in a tavern shortly after Bahogi started a bar fight.
Tavern! I understand this! And a bar fight! Double understanding it! Great!
Yep. There was a bear. Broke a table.
I was the bear.
He looks at you and smiles and says, aren't we all?
So, I would say as we get started, I want to kind of like make my way over to names Cashrow.
The wizard.
The wizard work? Yeah.
Kind of over to Cashrow and be like, so your brother said something about fire magic?
Fire? Yes. I specialize as a fire mage. The embers and burning fury of Du Gras rush through my veins.
Nice. Quick question: do you use a spell book?
Yeah, he nods. He kind of looks around a little bit and says, listen, it's not that orcs are against a lot of heavy reading. It's just my peers would prefer if the magic came more naturally. However, I'm an orc of the mind. He kind of pulls out his spell book. Says, there you go. Look at this. Kind of slams it on the ground. It's a large, it's kind of like an ironclad tome of sorts. The parchment inside looks pretty... It's not traditional parchment. It looks like it's leather pages.
It's vellum.
Yeah.
Forgive me, this is a taboo question. I don't know a lot of wizards, and I'm learning different kinds of magic kind of on my own.
Oh!
Can I look at your spell book?
He kind of, for a second, he kind of...
I won't do anything with
yeah.
it. I just kind of wanted to look.
Kind of curious looks. Says, I suppose I could let you take a look. Yeah.
Hey.
He kind of
Is it
plop it
written in
open.
Orcish?
Yeah, all the spells
Damn
are
it.
written in Orcish. Some of the strange arcane writing is more universal, like a lot of incantations
I
are
read
written
Draconic.
in Draconic. So incantations are written in Draconic, but they have Orcish translations under them, and then circles and kind of diagrams to show how things are doing. There's even a picture of hand gestures. One of the pages has hand gestures on it. And do you want to make an Arcana check to see if you can surmise what spells or what?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna make one Arcana check.
One Arcana check.
One Arcana, please.
Just roll this one. Okay. It could be worse. 17.
All right, that's actually pretty good. You're able to identify Scorching Ray as one of the spells. The diagram shows
Page of that.
shows an orc. Yeah, that's one of the reasons it's easy to identify, but it's got kind of a diagram, and it looks like Cashrow drew it himself because it's kind of his hand shooting sort of the fiery ray. He also has a few other spells in there. Hang on, let me pull this up. Sorry. Oh, you trying to get that spell?
Trying to get what? Oh. There's a particular fire spell in there that you...
No. I'm trying to explain how the fuck Torn figures out some spells.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Unfortunately,
But that
does
doesn't
not
have to be in there. I was just wondering.
He's got Burning Hands. That one's easy
Burning
to
Hands,
identify.
okay.
Scorching Ray is also easy to identify. He
Nice.
also has a strange spell. A few strange ones in there. Let me take a look. Sorry, I gotta pull up the spell list.
See, the Scorching Ray and Burning Hand, well, we lifted copies of off of our buddy Guido.
Guido's book,
I still
yeah.
have a Scroll of the Flaming Sphere that I have not used yet.
I have Scorching Ray and Burning Hand, one of each.
Oh, you see that he also has something that looks to be the Spider Climb spell. And, strangely enough, you don't spot Fireball, but you do spot what looks to be a haste spell.
Well, I wouldn't know what Fireball was anyway. But
Yeah, you kind of turn a page, one of the vellum pages, and it's this big orb of flame, and it's almost like it's a little bit animated. There's definitely magic, there's some enchantments to be going on, but it has this page has a warm glow, but you're able to identify it as Fireball, but you don't know how to cast it. You know what I mean?
well, I just meant if a spell was missing, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. You wouldn't know what
Yeah.
spells would be what. He's got, and I think Another one that you might not have is he has magic weapon as another spell. Yeah, and you see that like in his hand, he's drawn a diagram of like an orc holding like an axe, and it looks like his hands holding like a magic weapon.
I'm gonna give the book back to him and go, that's very, very interesting, thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot of spells for war and all whatnot, but a few of them I thought would be good for utilitarian issues.
Yeah. I've been kind of fumbling my way through learning magic, I think.
Magic is a strange art. It comes naturally for others, and for folks like me, you just gotta read a lot. Very strange. Never thought I'd grow up reading. Kind of chuckles a little bit.
I tried to do that once. Didn't end well.
I didn't think it was going to, but one day it just did. The next thing I knew, I was swinging around a magic axe, just like Brother, but, you know, without all the muscles.
Nice. Okay. That was it.
Yeah. So your party gathers up and begins to kind of like make way for the final leg of the journey. Daigron has decided to walk beside the thing, kind of to walk off all of the ale. His brother sits there, and you note that his brother kind of just has scrolls, and he just kind of is reading through like his spell book and then making notes and adjustments to certain things. The dwarf is just sitting there sharpening his axes. That's pretty much his entire deal, is just sharpening these axes. And then the rest of you kind of pile who's going to be riding in the wagon?
Well, I think you've already determined the most accurate spot for Pahokee here.
you hear a little commotion on top of the wagon as Pokey climbs aboard and kind of sits down and saddles up.
Yeah.
Vi's gonna do what she did last time and pop up front so she can kind of look at the environment and then also like take notes on her map.
Yes, excellent. All right. So
I'd say
you're
if
up
it's not-
front.
If it's not going to bug him too much, I'd probably be next to Cashro.
Yeah, Castro. The two of you kind of like do a lot of arcane small talk. He begins to kind of explain. He tries to explain to you as you guys, let's say like it's an hour in or so to the journey. You guys are heading southward. But he tries to explain to you how he conjures magic. And he says like things like, you know, I gotta focus on the element and then pull from the ley line. And then instead of just charging it out, you know, you do certain hand gestures, utter arcane phrases, and then the magic erupts from like you. and you note that there's some similarities, but you're more natural with it. It's more just sort of lightning just kind of happens. Whereas he seems to need to like calculate it more. And Visha, you can probably hear this. You probably have a good ear to the side, just kind of listening in.
Yeah.
I'd just kind of just talking shop.
Yeah,
I'm
just
asking
like
magic
chit-chat,
questions
yeah.
because I'm just kind of curious because I've never figured out how the book thing works. So I'm trying to figure out why they need a spell book. I'm like,
you do note that the biggest difference that you can tell is that he knows a lot of spells,
yeah.
but he only casts a few of them that he can memorize per day. And so he explains it as like, he kind of just tells you, like, yeah, I have to just remember certain spells. It's hard to remember everything in these tomes. So I just choose a few and hope they'll work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, then that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So, you're definitely
I'm talking to
shop.
Cashro.
If Dagron is walking near the front of it,
Yeah.
V will probably be asking him just general questions about like work culture and ask for folklore and stories. And
Oh
stuff.
yeah, he's more than happy to talk about orcish customs, and in fact, as you begin to kind of show interest, Daigron kind of pipes up a little bit and says, "If you're interested in orc culture, it all starts with our god, the war god Dugra.
Yes.
Born from the Titans and one of the first 3 gods to exist, he was freed by his dragon prisoners and then let loose onto the world in a widespread carnage of death and destruction. Eventually, he was re-imprisoned, but before doing so, he sliced his arm open and bled across the mountain, and from that blood came the orcs. It's a pretty great story."
Sounds good to me.
You're kind of up there going like, "Ooh, that sounds gory."
Yeah.
He's just like, alright, born from blood.
Born from blood, Dugra the war god. And you guys are all familiar with the sort of the universal pantheon. Dugra is the god of war, the war god. He is the father of orcs, but he's mostly known as, in contemporary times, he's mostly known as just the god of, like, the war god.
Yeah.
Him and the god of the sun, Idris, have a deep-seated rivalry. Both are relatively good deities, but the two of them butt heads on pretty much every occasion.
Gotcha.
So it's, yeah.
Is this deity related to what's his dick? Hang on. Inogu.
Inogu. No. So Inogu is is a demon prince. So Inogu, there's a lot of classifications.
Gotcha.
The demon princes are basically like demon gods in a way,
Gotcha.
but they're more like demigods that are just
Gotcha.
really powerful.
Okay.
Yeah. True divinity is like a little bit different.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
She's also gonna start trying to learn a little bit of Orcish. She probably won't be able to speak Orcish, but she'll learn some words.
yeah, you know he jokingly tells you the word for orc in Dwarven, which is Alkaza. And he's like, it's a great slur that they love to use.
Oh, that's good.
And,
That's a great slur, guys.
yeah, right. And you, as you said that, Durgoth kind of like pokes his head out and goes, "Y'all talking about Dwarven slurs?"
V's gonna turn around and be like, yes.
He says, "I got plenty."
V's gonna just like get her notebook. She's gonna roll the map up real quick and pull out her notebook.
He provides a few like slurs and nasty words, basically just foul language.
So he's just
producing.
teaching-
He's basically
teaching
teaching you curse words.
Teaching Visha how to cuss in Dwarvish.
He also mentions as like, so Alkaza is a little older term used for orckin, but now we say when we want to be really nasty to your folk. He kind of gives his buddy a playful punch. He says, we call it Alkaza. Is the dwarven term for demon and foulness, basically. It can be used as a prefix to many things and a suffix.
I have a question. What does your brother smell like?
Are you talking to Dagron?
I'm just talking out into the open to the orcs in general.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
the orc-
really looking at them. I'm just like,
Dagron kind of looks upwards and says, Zima? He smells like an orc?
Oh, yeah, I guess that checks out.
so Pahokee is going to be sitting up there and now starts, like, since we're going through the forest, Pahokee's going to start sniffinizing.
Okay, I'll let you make a survival check.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have a disadvantage though, because
That's fine.
it's gonna be it's a
just-
wild shot.
It's just general sniffage,
Yeah.
you know, in case we pass by.
I'll let you sniff.
Sniff, 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 sniff. Okay.
So disadvantage. So roll 2 d20s and take the lowest.
Alright.
That's a 14.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 10.
All right.
And
Plus
then-
your survival bonus.
Yes, which is wisdom 14.
14? You smell the pines, the pine trees, and they smell lush and wonderful.
Yeah, he's not here.
But I'm gonna keep doing that periodically.
All right, I'll let you make survival checks.
Sniff check.
So about 4 hours or so pass as you guys start to venture southward. You note that the trail is kind of going up a little bit of a slight incline, and you sort of hit sort of like the top of a small hill overlooking a large, like deep, thick forested area. The place on the maps known as like the Dragon's Meat foothills. But it's not even the foothills that kind of like the forested foothills that kind of take away your attention. Instead, you're drawn to this massive port city built into the side of the very mountain that you saw, like the southern mountain that you saw coming like in that direction. A tremendously large series of what look almost like battlements have been built into the side of the mountain. The mountain itself is the city. And you see, just even from the grand distance that you guys are, because you guys are still probably like 4-ish hours away from the city itself, but you just see it, and it is big. The city itself is a huge, sprawling metropolis, basically connecting the world of the eastern Eska Ocean to the inner Starlit Sea. And the two places converge in this massive place called the World Port. It is a large, large city built in 3 tiers into the side of the mountain. Kind of like things like sort of like a Helm's Deep kind of thing, but in 3 massive platforms. The general, like, oh man, I had this cool description in my head and I totally biffed it.
Pretty good.
Yeah. But you find yourselves here. Let me give you a fun traveler's map of the city as it's built into the side of the mountain. The 3 large divisions of it, like the 3 platforms that make up the majority of the city, are visible at your angle, even though they're facing away from where you guys are coming in. So think of it like so here's a little bit of a city. This is kind of like this is a representative map. It's not like a literal map.
Oh.
But basically the city is kind of like, you guys are basically coming in from this sort of direction here. And then you guys are actually still further up north, but you guys can see kind of like the side here. And you can see that at the peak of the mountain is a large and imposing fortress that seems to sit almost like a warden for the entire region below. There are some smaller buildings up top, but some of them are kind of like obscured at the angle that you're in. But then you can see sort of like large towers in the next large platform, as like housing seems to be a little bit sparser in this region, but you do note that there are big buildings. You guys are still so far away you can't quite make all the details. But it's really the next to lowest platform that you kind of like spot. A ton of just rows and rows of buildings and houses jut outward from this strange like landscape. Like, you guys aren't quite used to the size and scope of these cities, but it is massive to say the least. And oh, dang it. I gotta find that description I wrote. It made so much more sense. I'm so sorry.
Pretty good.
I'm turning pink.
You good. But I will say, if we cut it at about 4 o'clock, which is about 45 minutes.
Yeah. No, I kind of had like a soft.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So you're actually
Soft
looking
got
good.
it.
Yeah, you guys are looking good.
Soft, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Soft session.
A soft session. So a
was
lot of
just
the city
seeing
is
this-
kind of
Seeing this, like Torres is going a little slack-jawed, and then he just finally goes, yes.
yeah.
This is
Even
what?
from the
Yes.
Oh.
yeah. Even
Which
from the
V would hear as shit.
you can see that, like, yeah, and the final platform kind of further down has like a lot of walled areas. You see this huge array of docks that kind of like fall into this sort of stonework foundation the city is. Several vessels, like several large ships and boats, can be seen kind of like docking at the area in the large harbor, and they look like little specks, but you see motion all over it. It's almost like seeing like a ton of ants from a telescope far away, and it just seems quite overwhelming, just the amount of bodies that
It's
could
like
potentially
a
be there.
really, really big cake with ants all over it, but it's a
That's a good idea. It's a 3-tiered cake with ants all over it.
Pahoki understands this a little bit better now.
All right. As you guys kind of make your descent down from the hills that you are, kind of just overlooking this area, the city begins to kind of disappear as like the treetops sort of like cover up your like line of sight, and almost acting like a little tease from where you are. Eventually, Thaddeus kind of like motions towards the city, kind of like sort of like, yep, just a few more hours and we'll be right in the city proper. Hidden into Lowtown, kind of a little bit outside of the Great Walls.
Torres just kind of looks at V and be like, "You still live in a city that size?"
No, not quite that big.
Okay.
Because you said the biggest city where she's from is like 250,000?
Nashen is the biggest city that you've been to, and that population is roughly... it's not even 250,000, it's like something like 10,000 or so. 10,000 Kalia, maybe.
Yeah, because
So-
we're talking about like where I
So
of
this
all
is-
of us,
this
I've
is
been
big.
the biggest.
This is
Yeah.
big for most people, right?
Yeah, this is kind of overwhelming for a lot of
Yeah,
people. Because again, like population is like 1.1
Okay.
mil,
Yeah.
and then you guys are. Because I think you've probably been in the biggest city, like 10K.
Yeah. Like for me, is of all of us, I'm the one that's been in the most populous areas.
Yeah.
But you know, it's still 10,000. It's like comparing Boise to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Boise's
And
got
your
four-
village is what, like 300 at most?
Yeah,
Something
it's
like that?
smaller
Yeah.
than Sun Valley,
Yeah.
technically.
and
Yeah.
Pahokee lives in
Yeah.
Sun Valley's 500.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
like,
that's a good
technically,
number. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
I feel like,
so he's gonna be like, oh, not nearly this many people.
oh, good. Okay.
It's just like, no,
I'm
that
glad
that
this
is
isn't that normal.
that is no, that is staggering.
It's a lot, right?
Oh, yes. I really hope that these people are cleaner than some of the cities I've been in. She's just gonna be like, they
Oh, I
shit
didn't-
in buckets and then pour it out the windows.
Yeah, poop buckets.
Poop buckets?
Not all cities are like that.
Yeah,
She's
it's
been
true.
through a few cities like on this mainland.
Yeah, and I would say that like
Humans
plumbing
are gross.
is less common in like a lot of places.
Yeah.
So your expectation is rough.
Yeah. It's just like human settlements are gross.
Right.
Huh.
As you guys the cabin, yeah, the cabin, like everyone gets a little bit quiet because even the orcs are a little bit kind of like overwhelmed. Like you see that dude, like Digron, kind of like trying to like sort of standing on his tippy toes. He's already relatively tall. He's sort of standing on his tippy toes, trying to like see more of the city as you approach. But right now, again, the city is kind of getting muddled away with like all the treetop coverage from the pines that seem to envelop the entire area of the foothills. This place is a very nice area. It's quiet here, and there's like the gentle aroma of like the pine trees about, the chirping of animals, wildlife, and whatnot. And it's relatively calm, and in a weird way, like very quiet, but still like serene and natural. As you guys venture further down the path on this road that you guys have, and it's still like a dirt road, eventually you start to see kind of like some clearings kind of in the distance, and a few fences, and eventually as you guys approach the clearings further, it's farmlands. So there's like sort of like these tiered farmlands that kind of like exist around this region out in the foothills. Thaddeus kind of pipes up again. He says, we're entering the Dragon's Meat Foothill Farms. This is several families feed the entirety of the metropolis below. So, they're very well respected. Keep your nose clean, shall we say. Kind of strolls about, and you guys find yourselves kind of
Very respectable, sir. You have nothing to worry about.
he kind of chuckles and says, trust me, you lads are going to do great in the city. I'm sure whatever you're looking for or after, you can find in Dragon's Meat. Enough coin and you can buy your way to anything.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you sort of come through, and you see that there's a few like stone walls, sort of like not like in disrepair, just kind of never completed. Several like barriers to outline certain farms, and you find yourselves sort of strolling about. Thaddeus kind of looks a little bit nervous. He kind of looks around and says, "Oh, a little bit quiet today. Normally, if farmhands are out and about and doing business, including wagons running back and forth, food likes and whatnot."
Weird. Is it
The-
a holiday?
Let's say you guys. He kind of looks at his calendar and pops open his little stopwatch and says, "I don't think there's any holidays in this time, but that's a good check."
Hearing that, and considering how many people seem willing to jump out behind walls and throw shit at us, I am going to ask Emil to go up and
Okay.
fly.
Emil sort of like
Try and
joyfully
see if he
takes
sees anything.
flight and kind of like glides forward. Do we have the Emil miniature anywhere?
Emil?
You had it.
Yeah, damn it. I must have had it in the big tray.
No,
Sorry.
he ran away.
Nah, you
I
good.
think it's in the big tree.
The big
Okay.
tray.
I've been meaning to get one that's just separate,
Oh wait, I do have a
so I
donkey.
can paint.
I have a donkey. I forgot.
Donkey.
No, everyone fell.
Everyone's dead.
The donkey's too powerful.
Dang old donkey.
That is a surprisingly powerful donkey.
It is a powerful donkey.
So there you go.
There we go. Okay.
We'll take this. So Emil takes flight, and initially, Emil seems to be like, just happy to fly around, But then, almost as quickly as Emil has taken to the skies, he coos back, sort of like a warning of some sort.
Yeah, can I roll? Is it perception or investigation, just to kind of see if I can identify anything?
Let's do so it's a perception from like kind of a general view,
okay.
And then investigation is more of like a detailed look. At things.
So it would be perception checks.
Yeah, go ahead and everyone make a perception check.
Right.
I'm gonna do a sniff check, sir.
This is gonna be 21.
You're gonna do this 21. Ooh.
Because I rolled a 16.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Oh,
I'm not rolling too great today.
Oh, no.
These plastic dice like me a lot more than my other ones do.
16 is me.
16.
Yeah, well, would have been better than the metal dice.
I got a 6, but do you want to see what happened? It was like, whoop!
Oh, it was like 20, 22. Oh no.
2.
Whoop! No!
So my sniff check failed me.
Oh, sorry.
Your sniffer
Sorry.
failed you.
My sniffer failed.
Hey, I don't have flash rose. I'm sure.
This one is yours.
What the?
It is.
Where's my?
Just in here for you.
Oh, there he is. Okay, so I got that. I'm not saying there's an encounter happening, but
There's an encounter happening.
I'm not saying there's an encounter happening. I'm just telling you that you're now on the map and I'm getting all the minis.
yeah.
Please,
this is
please
just-
ignore the mini, Catherine.
Please ignore.
Pay no
please
attention
ignore.
to the minis behind the mirror.
Yeah.
Indeed.
There's
How
Ka.
are the gold dice?
The gold dice are betraying me less.
Hey. I was gonna say, I feel like you've had some solid rolls.
I need to.
You rolled real good during your little drinking escapade.
Yeah.
This is true.
That was. I really thought you were just gonna throw up.
Yeah, well.
Same with Same
Tiny
with
little
Torin,
beast.
actually.
Torn got real drunk off one though. Well, not real drunk, but
We'll say
Drunkish.
we'll say that this is a meal
Buzz.
for now.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I need to just order another bird mini so I can just paint it black like a crow.
Yeah. Right. It's like it would be so
Bird.
simple.
I keep meaning to get a little bird so I can have his proper crow. At least
You-
he's on my arm. It's okay.
So, you do you hop out of the cabin or do you stay inside?
If Emil's making like warning noises, I'm gonna hop down and be looking
Okay.
around.
Yeah,
My
Emil
perception
suddenly.
was 16.
Yeah, sort of. Emil sort of just coos a warning and says, trouble?
okay, and
Emil
then
seems to think something's up.
I got a 21 in my perception.
Okay. So, can I get everyone's perception again?
16.
16. 21.
6.
6. Okay, the two of you notice that towards the farm over here, you spot a few people kind of like waving at you from the windows. They're sort of just waving frantically,
As in the
Yeah, they're waving frantically at you. Pahokee, you're kind of just staring off into the distance.
I'm gonna yell at Thaddeus. I think we're supposed to stop.
Well, Thaddeus kind of like, you hear him click, click, the little like donkey who immediately dead stops, and you guys kind of, it sort of juts, and then kind of, Thaddeus kind of looks around a little bit, and he kind of reaches for his crossbow and pulls it out.
How far away are they from us in the house?
So, we're going to use real distance. Do we have a measuring tape?
We do in the drawer.
Yes, let's get that.
I was like,
Measuring
yes, my dress tape is in the.
Oh no.
Is it?
There we go. There we go.
It's time to do the real nerd
Yeah, now it's the time for the nerd shit.
shit. Yeah. Gotta get out the rulers.
Yeah, they are
Actually,
roughly.
do you have a hard ruler over here
Wow. They're something like 80 feet away from you guys.
80?
Yeah, 80 feet away from you.
Okay, so I'm going to pull some copper wire out of my pocket,
Okay.
and I'm going to send a message toward the people waving at us.
Oh, that's right. And they can respond, right?
Yes, they
Yeah,
can respond.
okay.
Oh yeah, 'cause you have sending, huh?
Ooh.
I have message.
Message.
Yeah,
I have
message.
sending.
So to them, I'm going to be like, we see you waving. What's the matter? And you can respond to this message.
You hear a voice. It's a little halfling fellow. He says, "Oh, dear me! You've got to watch yourself. They're still crawling about. They're gonna claw you and then rip you to shreds. Please, be mindful. You just gotta stay quiet, and they're not gonna get you."
There's something with
Tremors.
I don't know what they're called. And as he kind of like, you know, I don't know how many words is it?
I
Fuck.
don't actually know.
Oh fuck! I might have messed it up.
Hang on, let me see.
I don't know. He did a lot of. and not
That's
much
true.
communication.
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't say.
Okay, well, you kind of get that message, and
It's one round, so it's like quick
okay,
messages.
yeah. So we'll give it. You know what? That's fair. Like, so you guys can communicate back and forth, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The target and only the target hears the message
Okay,
and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Okay. Yeah, he says, please, you just gotta be very careful. The motion startles them. Noises, too. Big sounds. Just keep low. Maybe they'll pass.
Guys, something's here that's apparently triggered by movement and sound.
What?
They said something about claws and tearing people apart. And Pahokee, please be quiet.
But that's not us.
It's not us, it's after us. I'm gonna do my best to convey that to the rest of the group.
The dwarven fellow kind of like shouts up and says, I'm not afraid of nothing. God, really?
Torches in the back, like.
That's what I was trying to tell them.
You were able to kind of like convince him to shut up for a moment. He's like, oh, this is terrible. and
I am
two of
looking
you-
all around
Yeah.
us, trying to see if there's anything.
so the two of you, hang on, I just need to find a miniature for the dwarf really quick. I hadn't expected to join him, but I wanted to kind of give that opportunity. And I do have a dwarf miniature. I just don't know where it is because I pack all the miniatures. Here you go.
Well, I was like, there's one. I know
Yeah.
I painted one recently.
So he's out here. So these
There's
guys
a
are
dwarf.
inside the cabin right now. The four of these are inside the
Is
cabin.
it all
the
both
wagon.
the orcs are in there?
Yeah, they're both. Oh no, sorry, Digron's outside. You're right.
Digron's been.
In fact,
yeah,
Digron's next to you.
Yeah, because I'm like, I've been
Yeah.
chatting with Digron.
Yeah, he pulls out his like axe, and you guys slowly, the two of you spot two strange pale fellows kind of wandering over in the courtyard, just maybe about I'm gonna say like 40 feet away from you guys. This isn't like a true high wall. These are like low walls. Think of these as like half. Like they're basically fences. But you spot like several of these sort of like grim-looking creatures, people that seem to be kind of like sauntering about, sort of like in a strange, dizzy haze.
Zombies!
Maybe we can ask them what's up.
Wow, Pahokee.
Pahokee didn't roll good on their perception.
I
okay?
know.
Yeah. You spot. Okay, so you guys spot 5 of them, sort of over here, and you see that there's a few horses around the area. These horses are sort of still grazing.
So they're just normal horses. They're just like, whatever.
Yeah. The horse. I mean,
Chow
the zombies
time.
don't seem to be interacting with them in any significant
Because
way.
they're not being loud or moving fast.
Yeah.
They're just eating.
And the horses are kind of like, just sort of wandering around, so sort of doing normal grazing.
Okay, I got something here.
So I'm gonna send another quiet message to the house.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be like, are there any in the home with you, or are you safe?
We're safe inside, but we saw a bunch of the strange ones, the ones that climb over at the over there. He motions towards like the actual stables, like, or by the championship stables.
Well, that's all the way over there. So we're probably good, right?
And the two of you with the heightened check, you spot on top of the roofs two, like, these guys look different from the shambling zombies. These creatures are pale skin. Yeah, dang. I was like,
in the drawer.
in my head it worked a little bit better, and I was like, I was able to actually balance them up there.
But there's some guys up on the roof.
Yeah, but there's some creatures up on the roof, and they do not look like normal zombies per se. Damn it! I literally got this working like the other day to ensure that it would work. Screw it. You spot like 3 of them on the rooftop.
Okay.
Like up there, yeah. And you see them, they're sort of crawling around, almost like just sort of like hunting and lurking. And below, as you guys spot there, you see a small halfling woman and 2 stable hands kind of like hunched over, and it looks like they've been trying to sneak out here, but they also are. Oh fuck! 3 on the roof. There are 3 on the roof.
Okay.
We're gonna just 3 on the roof.
Gotcha.
But you see that there's a halfling woman and 2 human stable hands trying to lead one of the particularly well-looking, like really good-looking horses
Champion
out
horse.
of
Yep.
out of the stables. They're quietly pulling them along, but the horse seems to be like agitated in a way.
Well, the horse is like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, whoa, what?
I'm a horse and I don't care for it.
And suddenly, things come to head when one of the stagehands trips over some pile of hay, slamming himself kind of like on the ground. The horse kind of rears up in surprise, and you suddenly hear just this hissing as the creatures above kind of turn their heads and sort of begin to kind of like crawl around, moving towards the 3 people trapped in the little stable area.
Okay, I'm going to use my mage hand and one of my flashbangs. So I'm going to mage hand it. It can go about 30 feet from me, so I'm going to get it about 25 feet away. And then I'm going to have it huck that flashbang over near this wall across.
Oh, hey.
So
I like
smart.
that. Yeah. So the 2 of you,
I'm gonna
so
try
all
and get
3 of you guys get a surprise round. So
Okay.
these goblins are going to be the people.
Okay, so I was just more like, okay, so 25 feet is 5.
5. Yeah. So yeah, 5.
Okay, so I can get the mage hand to here,
Here.
and then it can chuck things.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to get. Yeah, I want.
So
to,
the building is like 90 to 100 feet away.
okay, so let
Yeah.
me see how far it can throw.
Yeah. Emil is roughly about right here, by the way. So
Okay.
yeah. I mean, and Emil is in the air. So
Okay, it doesn't say how far it can throw things. It just says that it can't attack. But
I'm gonna say it's the same range as like a normal flashbang, so we're gonna say 40 feet.
40 feet. Okay,
Yeah.
so I am gonna.
You can throw it further, but it'll be like with disadvantage, and it
Okay.
might just veer
So
off
the
the wrong
mage
direction.
hand is here at 25
Yeah.
feet, and I'm gonna So 40. So okay, so if that's where the hand is.
So yeah, then you have 8, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you can get it about right
Are you
here-ish.
trying to throw it that way?
Well, do I want him to go over there? Or do I want him to go this way?
This might seem cruel, but the flashbang will startle the horses. And you could theoretically distract him with that. But it might seem kind of cruel.
I also have an idea.
Alright. So, I'm gonna... I don't want to, like, fuck up the poor horses, so let's see here. Okay, but I can do... That's 8, so that'll get me to... here.
This is the woman halfling.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so I am gonna chuck it kind of over here, near this... over here.
Over here? Okay.
Yeah, over here, kind of like by the tree, so it'll still be visible and stuff, but the horses will have a little bit of cover from the flashbang, so it doesn't hurt their eyes too much.
Okay, yeah.
Because
like
I don't
that.
want to blind these poor horses.
I'm gonna
But
have you.
they're gonna get scared and run.
I'm gonna have you make an attack roll, not to like hit anything, but to get it in the right position.
Get it?
So go ahead and make a
So
ranged
gotcha,
attack roll.
just to
Yeah.
see if I can get it here or
Yeah,
if it
roughly
goes
there to kind of like do
okay,
a big burst.
what do I roll for
So
that?
simultaneously, that's just a d20.
Yeah, it'll be a d20 plus your like it's like your ranged attack, so plus your dexterity modifier
Okay.
and proficiency.
So seeing V start like floating the flashbang
Yeah.
out and kind of getting the plan, I'm gonna have Emil go about here,
Okay, Emil flutters over. They have really good flight.
and telepathically, I'm gonna tell him in to start shouting something he heard recently, which I'm guessing one of those would be meat fight.
Meat fight!
Okay,
But
so-
I'm gonna make sure he stays off the ground and high enough that they can't grab him.
Yeah. Like you
But
wanted to use his mimicry.
Yes,
Finally.
yes, but I want him to be up there just kind of
Have
yelling,
him-
meat
Okay.
fight! Meat fight!
Copying Pahokee.
Yeah.
Okay, now, sorry, what modifier do I use?
So it's going to be like a ranged attack roll. So it's going to be your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay. Okay, my dex modifier.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a total of +5. Okay.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and roll that. I'm going to have a nug. Oh, it's the last nug.
Ooh, it's very good. Okay, that is a... Let's see, what did I say? It was +5, so it's 24.
All right, 24. What are you going to do? So this is happening simultaneously in the surprise round.
Finally catching on to, I guess we don't want to be seen by that. I cast Pass Without a Trace on all of us in a 30-foot range, which I think includes like a donkey, but...
I think that's probably our whole crew plus that donkey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely everyone.
I mean, definitely not that, but we're good.
Yeah. You guys would, like, the caravan would be good.
Yeah. So,
Actually, that's probably cool. So I want to make sure that's an instant cast. Oh, it is! Okay. All right.
Just go, no.
All right, wow. And it silences the radius around you.
Yeah.
Damn, that is smart. Okay. So everyone make a stealth check with a +10 modifier.
Because Pahokie's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna try the gold one.
oh no, Pahokee. Oh wait, I have advantage on stealth.
Oh, yeah, because
My
of the
boots.
elvish boots.
Thank God.
That's right, you do, yeah.
Thank God, because the first one was a 5. I
So
know there's a +10,
15,
but still.
only because of this.
23.
23. Okay, 15, 23.
These plastic dice are good.
I was going to say that the plastic dice are consistent.
With the Pass Without a Trace, it's 25.
25. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. The rest of your crew does very well, except for Thaddeus, actually. But it's still, like, +10 on top of them. So suddenly you guys feel a certain, like, nature, sort of like the soft wind of nature kind of like envelops you guys in sort of like a calming presence that lessens your noise. And you guys feel much, like, quieter and stealthy. In the same time, so while you're all doing that, Digron and the dwarf fella, Durakoth, hop out. Oops.
Dorcock, yeah, we got it.
Dorcock. Yeah, Dorcock. Hops out.
Dorcock, yeah. Okay.
The three of them kind of move over here. They're getting their weapons ready because they spot the zombies.
Great.
And the brother sort of stands like about right there. Suddenly, so these two actions kind of happen at the same time. Your mage, like your cat's paw, levitates over here and then tosses a flashbang, and it goes, and then you hear this loud just pop as Emil starts cawing like meat fight, and suddenly
It's in like a little circle right here.
Yeah.
Meat fight!
And suddenly, the ghouls kind of sort of twist their heads upward, and two of them leap outward over down here, landing, crashing, like, to the ground. The flashbangs kind of, like, the horses bring their heads up for the flashbang, like, all of them, but then it's when the ghouls leap down that they start to, like kind of rear up and start to panic. One of them, like, as one of them's panicking, this ghoul seems undecisive and sort of lands and kind of crashes over here at the fence. You hear kind of like him sort of
Natural
rush.
dex check?
Yeah. So basically, he falls forward, hits the fence, but then it causes this horse to kind of like rear up as well, and suddenly, like, the zombies kind of turn their heads and they seem to kind of like wander forward.
They're going this way or towards all the
They're going kind of like this way where these guys have crashed down.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Meat fight.
He's not shutting up, by the way.
Okay.
Like he's just constantly yelling. That's just what I just asked him to just keep yelling.
keep
basically.
yelling. All right, roll initiative.
Yay! Alright, Gold, we're not going with you since you betrayed me. Time for Metal
Not the
One.
worst.
That's a 3.
3. Okay.
15.
Oh wait,
15.
No, I don't add anything to that.
No.
You have your dex bonus.
10.
Oh,
It's your dex bonus
10?
is your initiative bonus.
So.
Oh, wait, I didn't put my
Oh,
dex bonus on there.
that's 6.
So I mean 6.
Still not great.
Yeah, I have a +1 initiative too.
I have 3.
12. I'm gonna roll for the party, the caravan party. Oh wow. Okay. And here we go. So combat is going to be basically counterclockwise, actually. So Torin, like these I'm gonna have them kind of move together.
NPC group?
Yeah, NPCs.
Got it.
Zombies, then Pahokee, then Viksha. Alright, so, Torin, you're at the top of the initiative. Suddenly, you can hear the shambling corpses as they begin to kind of move around. These ones are different looking. They are ghouls, and they seem to be more intelligent. They're kind of prowling on the ground. The horses are rearing and neighing, but they seem to be ignoring that. They seem to be, like, hunting for something in particular.
Gotcha. They're like, okay, that's a horse.
Yeah, those are horses. They look to be more interested in humanoids. This one is, like, on the ground, kind of, like, you know, wailing about. You see, like, some of the splintered wood is kind of jabbed through its side.
His back,
yeah,
just,
it's wounded, but it's not dead. Yeah. So these ones are, like, crawling towards the noise of that. And then the zombies seem to be sort of falling in line with the ghouls. Yeah, they seem to be led by the ghouls somehow. All right.
Hang on.
So, where are we rolling?
The book is coming out. Give me a second.
Magic is happening.
I have a thought.
Ooh, I like that.
Here comes that thought.
Oh.
Sorry, 1 second. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Try to, for everyone else, go ahead and, like, think about what you guys want to do for the situation.
Well, I'm gonna have to wait and see what stuff starts happening, because mine's so far down.
I have a plan. Is Emil within 100 feet of me?
Yeah, I would say so. Probably just at 100 feet, maybe. So what's that, 60? Yeah, that's within 100. That's almost exactly 100 feet.
Okay. Okay, well, actually, I don't know if I can do this. Do we have it so that he rolls his own initiative, or is he on my initiative?
He's on your initiative.
He's on my initiative? Okay. Because there's a thing in here that says it rolls its own initiative, so I want to know if that's how you were
we
doing
can do that if you want.
I don't, but I'm leaving that up to you.
Okay, for now we're gonna have it on your initiative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it, range of touch. Fuck. Hang on. I had a plan. It's not gonna work. Oh, okay. Okay, so this says range of touch. Would something that radiates out from myself count as a range of touch spell, or is that like a...
It's like a... Yeah, you have to touch. That's what that range is,
Alright.
yeah. Sometimes you can cast spells through a familiar, and as long as the familiar
That's what I
touches
was
them,
looking
yeah.
at, but he
that
has
works.
to touch it first.
Yeah, he'll have to touch it. Yeah.
So, okay, so he can only cast Shocking Grasp then. I can't touch... Okay. Never mind, that's not gonna work. Alright.
Were you hoping to cast, like, Lightning Bolt or something?
I was hoping to cast Thunder Wave over there, but I can't. Because that's not a touch range spell, it's a from me out. Okay. I'm going to pull out the scroll I've had on me for a fucking while.
Alright, you whip out your scroll, which spell scroll?
And be like, alright, let's see what this does. And this is the Scroll of the Flaming Sphere.
Alright, so it's Flaming
And
Sphere.
I'm going to call up a flaming sphere, basically. I do still have that, right?
Yeah, I think so, because I don't think you guys used it.
I don't think so.
It's in here somewhere. I'm just trying to make sure that that's what I had. Yes. Okay, so I have one spell scroll of the flaming sphere.
Excellent. I don't have a Flaming Sphere icon, I think. Or I did, but here we go. We're going to use this instead. That's your Flaming Sphere.
Okay. I gotta look up what it does. Hang on.
Oh, I got it up here. Yeah.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, it creates a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire.
That's a
in
big ball.
Yeah, big ball of flame. Big one. Basically, any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the flaming sphere must make a dexterity save. The DC is 14. Or 13, sorry.
Where's the range?
Yeah.
I have it written down as DC 14.
DC 14? Did I say DC 14?
I have that note in my journal.
Okay, it must be 14 because I think I said it 14 initially, but then I thought it was 13.
Okay.
Any creature that's like ends its turn there on a failed save takes 2d6 fire damage, half as much on a successful save, and as a bonus action, you can move the sphere 30 feet.
Okay, so is this within 60 feet of me?
It's So
60 feet's that entire ruler.
Is it?
Yeah.
12 times 5?
12 times 5. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotcha. 60 feet is 1 foot.
It's a foot.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I am going to pull out the Flaming Spear and I'm going to drop it here.
Oh yeah, excellent. The flaming sphere just erupts next to several of the zombies nearby.
And I guess I'm gonna ask Emil to keep cawing.
Okay, yeah,
Try
Emil
and
can
cause
keep cawing.
some chaos over there.
You wanna? I guess I don't have to make any checks for. Well,
It is vocal.
it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's the mimicry is basically like as long as it's making noise, and they seem to be attracted to the noise.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So
I have a flaming sphere on the
yeah,
top.
you have a giant flaming sphere here. As a bonus action, you can move the sphere up to 30 feet.
So you can
Okay.
like incinerate these
Yeah.
dudes.
So I'm gonna move it.
Yeah. So you're gonna roll the sphere there. Since everything is happening at the same time, the zombies that don't move away will get burned, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
They have to make a dex saving throw
Of 14.
if they end their turn there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the flaming sphere rolls out and erupts in a big fire, and you kind of like will it forward into the crowd of zombies. The zombies, you can see the flesh kind of bubbling around, like where the fiery orb has landed.
It says if it... Okay, sorry. This is not a spell I have. It says if you ram the sphere into a creature, that creature must make the saving throw against the sphere's damage, and the sphere stops moving this
Oh, yeah. If you
So
want to
if it
hit
hits one of
something,
those
yeah.
guys.
Do you want to hit somebody with it? 'Cause you can move.
Can I kind of roll it through here and hit this dude?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll hit that guy
Okay.
initially. Alright, so the sphere rolls forward, and one of the zombies that's shambling about gets struck in the back, and you hear this horrible sizzle as its flesh begins to bubble with intense arcane fire burning at it. So, it's gonna make the saving throw. It's gonna try to. It does not succeed.
Okay,
They
so
are
that
zombies,
is-
they are slow.
So that is 8 fire damage.
Okay, 8 fire
that
damage.
turn.
You see that as the fire bubbles onto the like rotted flesh of the creature, its arm just sort of falls off.
And that is up to a minute. So
Yeah.
I have a flaming ball of
So
fire
you have
for a
flaming
minute.
ball for concentration powers. All right, seeing the combat joined, these guys just dash forward and like kind of run up. So Digron jumps the fence and slashes this zombie with an axe. This guy leaps forward,
In my head, I'm just going to be going, don't jump on the fire, don't jump in the fire, don't jump in the fire.
and Kaw sort of follows suit on this side. Kashro shoots a firebolt at the one that you attacked.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of roll all their attacks sort of together,
Okay.
and we'll see how they do. So Digron actually misses with his attack. The dwarf misses as well.
What?
Hang on.
The commas?
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Did they all miss?
Okay, Digron barrels over the fence, and you see him with his axe swinging gloriously in the night sky. He swipes at this ghoul, at this zombie, who sort of turns around, and even though the axe catches the flesh of the creature, it tears away and seemingly does nothing. He basically misses. He's like, oh, shoot. Yeah, the
Big old
dwarf
whiff.
hops onto the fence and uses it to lunge himself forward with his twin axes. He tries to bury them into the first zombie and lands hitting nothing. Ka dashes forward, sees an opportunity, and with his spear thrusts forward and into the gut of the zombie, but the zombie's already missing his inner organs, and so Ka thrusts into nothing. All four of them missed. Kashro kind of points his fingers, and two bolts of searing flame rush forward and kind of sizzle into the air as they hit nothing.
Oh my god!
So, all four attacks
Oh my gosh.
completely miss. They work in unison, so it looked cool, but yeah, nothing happened.
Looked awesome, guys.
Yeah.
That bitch.
Hey, Blush, look great.
It's the background of a fight
look.
scene.
Yeah, it's literally like the randos in the back, like trying to look like they're doing something.
It's the stuntmen who didn't realize that they're supposed to be making contact.
Pahokee, it is your turn.
Oh, good job, you guys. I'm gonna help you out. They're within the zombies are within 90 feet, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to carefully. My goal is to use Entangle on those zombies. It's a 20-foot square. Ideally, I'm gonna only hit the zombies. But we're gonna see how the roll goes.
It goes. No, I think Entangling Vines is one of those spells where you don't have to worry about the it hitting allies.
It says everywhere.
Oh, I meant like you are the one planting it, so it's 20 foot.
20-foot square.
Okay, that's the 4-inch mark. So you see the inner circle that's the 4-inch? That would hit everybody. So you could land it right here, but you would catch everybody except for, or you'd catch everybody including the dwarf if you landed it right here. Actually, I guess there's a way you can land it. Yeah, like if you sit it right here.
I'm gonna say it's worth it because the dwarf should make a saving throw.
Hang on, I actually figured out like a spot where it won't hit the dwarf.
Okay.
All right. So
Perfect. Well,
what's the saving throw?
Let's see. A creature restrained by the plants. Wait. A creature in the area when you cast a spell must succeed on a strength saving throw, or be restrained by the entangling plants.
Oh, hang on, I had your spell DC actually.
15.
15. Oh, that's right. It got increased.
Yes.
By 1. All right. So the zombies are all gonna make a collective throw, and they don't make it.
Woo!
So we're gonna say that this is the vine, and it's got all of these guys entangled. Suddenly, vines shoot up all around this entire group of zombies, and they kind of wrap themselves violently around the undead carcasses. And you hear like this kind of like groaning as the zombies are trying to still press forward, like not realizing that they are bound by your strange earth magic.
Now you guys should do a little better.
Let me check.
Don't worry, I'll hold them still for you.
The 4 of them look collectively embarrassed, having dealt no damage. All of them ended their turn there, by the way. So within 5 feet, right?
Yeah, it's within 5 feet.
So I'm gonna say these 3 right
Those
there.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the DC is 14, right?
DC is 14.
They have a -1. They all get singed.
Okay, that roll was not as good. That one was 6.
6 damage?
6
okay.
damage.
This zombie that was being attacked by you, that kind of melts into a puddle of just goo. Yeah, basically. But the other one kind of like, they catch fire. One of them, their head is like on fire and melting slowly, revealing the bone underneath the rotted flesh.
Ew.
Viksha, it is your turn.
Okay. So these guys are all tangled up, but we still have these two, and they're kind of inching their way.
Yeah,
this
so
way.
so the ghouls are certainly the more dangerous looking ones. They're crouched down doing low positioning, and they're making their way over here. However, the commotion here has kind of drawn the attention of these two.
Okay.
Over.
And then is Pohokee's Pass Without a Trace still active?
It is, yes.
Okay. So
You guys are like dulled. Like your sound is dulled. You have the plus 10
for like
bonus
the
and-
30 feet around
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Okay. So okay. Okay. Here.
Oh, you know what? It was a strength check, but they still didn't make it.
Ooh. Okay. That's.
It was a strength check, but still no.
Still.
So,
No.
sorry, let's see here.
A little blast radius for the tactical stuff.
No, that's cool. I like
Okay,
it.
so
It's sort of a different game, but the measurements are the same.
Yeah, it works. That's awesome.
Okay, so I could probably only get one.
You're trying to zap them?
Yeah, but I need to make sure that I don't zap anybody else.
At your angle, I think you'd still hit.
Oh, I would be moving.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that's the thing. But the thing is, though, if I cast, I could still hit this house.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it would rip through those.
Because it's 100-foot long.
Yeah, it's 100 foot long. The other thing
Big
is,
one.
You do have some innocence outside.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Yeah.
That's not gonna work unless I can angle it like this, and so it would go
it'd
into
be
the
like-
McNuggets.
The classic McNugget.
Not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored.
But I wouldn't be able to do it that way without nailing
Somebody.
a couple of our buddies there. Okay, let's see here.
See, now we're getting into like how dangerous certain spells are.
Yeah. Okay. You know what?
Especially since I have since learned that I've been using sorcerer points incorrectly. So that's not going to get thrown around quite as much
Yeah,
as it was.
it doesn't save you. It just makes you succeed in the
You
save.
take half damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you still take half damage.
Yeah, still take that half
I heard a
damage.
kitty cry.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was Soba, I believe. Yeah.
Boom heard the neighbor's cat crying finally. You hear it
Yeah.
through the vents.
She like it makes me kind of scared because I'm like, I hope there's not a cat in the vent.
Right.
Please don't let a cat be in the vent system.
A weed smoking cat in the vents. It all makes sense now.
Finally, we
That
get
would
it. The
explain
culprits.
smells.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other things I have are
Oh, sun went away outside.
Oh yeah, it did.
and
Something I turned.
what's the stats on Scorching Ray? Because I don't have a card for it.
Oh yeah, I can tell you. Scorching Ray. I actually just have D&D Beyond up with the spell list.
Oh, I was like, I mean, I have the book technically. I could find it as well, but it's going to take me a second.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a second too. Ray.
Got it.
Ah, you
At the
beat me.
same time, almost.
It is. It's at the top of the page there.
Thank you. Okay, see here. 120 feet. Okay. 3 rays of fire.
It's a real D&D game.
Yeah.
When the
Okay.
books come out.
You can, yeah, right. Here, maybe I'll turn on the.
Okay, so Scorching Ray is a targeted attack. So
Yeah,
unlike
you basically
Lightning Bolt,
get
it won't
beams,
necessarily.
yeah.
It doesn't look that bad. I think.
Yeah, I don't think it looks bad,
Yeah,
honestly.
no, it's fine.
And it came back.
It did come back.
Just clouds. Okay.
Just a little
So,
clouds.
okay, 120 feet long, but it is a targeted attack, so I don't have to worry about too much
Yeah.
collateral.
Yeah, because you're choosing
That's
a
a
target.
single target
Yeah.
attack.
Okay, so see here. Within range. Okay, so let's double check and make sure those guys are close enough for me to hit.
Yeah,
See if I need to
120
move.
feet.
Okay, so that's 6. Oh, well, yeah, definitely. That's 2 feet of this ruler, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 120 feet's a pretty wide range.
yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm gonna say you can definitely hit that one. You might have to move like 10 feet to hit that one.
Okay. So,
You want to do it?
yeah, so I'm gonna actually climb down from this here,
All right.
and I've got 30 feet of movement, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so that's
You can get about to the other side of the fence.
like to here.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, mostly I just want to be able to get behind the tree. for
Oh
co-
yeah.
for cover.
I mean, I would say that's a pretty good. Like, you definitely have cover there.
Okay, yeah. So because I want to have some cover in case things go funny. So yeah, she's gonna like hide behind the tree
Yeah,
in
you
the
can
wall
hide
there,
behind the tree, and then you.
eyeball these guys, and she's gonna pull out the
Spell scroll.
spell scroll here, and she's gonna shoot Scorching Ray at these two here. It does 3 rays.
3 rays. Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit. I don't know if I want to hit all 3 because I can. No, I'm just gonna shoot both these guys. So I'll hit this guy twice and this guy once.
Perfect. All right. You pull out the scroll and you kind of like wipe a paw over it, and you kind of this for an instant, like short-term memory, magic kind of tingles in, and you feel a fiery presence on your like claw tips, and you kind of point out 3. You point out like the targets, and suddenly shoot forth like rays of arcane fire. Make attack rolls, so spell attack rolls.
That's 20.
Yeah, so you'll make 1 for each attack.
Okay, so that's my 20 plus my.
Yeah, I can double check what your proficiencies are.
Oh, my proficiency bonus is 3.
Yeah.
But what's
wow.
the is that the? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what one I need to use.
Yeah, let me double check what your numbers are.
Okay.
I actually had it up and then I clicked on the spell page and it
Sorry.
like refreshed everything. Nah, you good. Come on, gang. So on your character sheet. Oh, also not slight retcon, but Kaz hitting is in full defensive, so he's giving advantage to Digron.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that at the end of the turn. So your spell attack modifier is plus 6.
Oh, plus
So you have a
6.
plus 6 to roll. So
So-
3d20s and plus 6 to each.
Okay, so that's 16. Oh, this is great. I got 10, 11, or 12. So that's 16, 17, and 18.
All 3 hit. So that's 2d6. So that's
six-
4d6 and then 2d6 to that one.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
26 on one and then
Yeah.
2d6 on the other.
Okay. I might have enough d6s.
To roll all of them?
I might.
I mean, we definitely have them enough from all of us.
No, I'm like, I just me myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, 46 for one and 2 for the other guy?
Yep. Actually a pretty efficient spell.
Yeah.
You can just roll them over again.
I know. Okay, so I've got... Alright, so we're going to do 46 for the one guy and 2
Yeah.
for the other. Okay. Alright, so that is... Sorry, that's the one I wasn't rolling. Okay, so that is 6. That's 11. 17 for the first guy.
17 damage. Oof, nice.
And the other guy gets 4.
17 and 4.
Because he's farther away.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, the ghouls suddenly, like, as the blasts of arcane fire melt away parts of their flesh, revealing also their bones, but strange enough, their rotted organs are still, like, in place. They suddenly fixate their attention onto you guys, basically. The new humanoids that have entered the
This whole
fray.
section,
Yeah.
yeah. Because V wants to be able to hide in that tree.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Meanwhile,
so...
the distance, me fight, me
There
fight,
is a-
me fight.
Me fight. Oh, I forgot the ghouls' turns.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
They're
the
supposed to go
zombies-
after me, or-
They were supposed to go before Pahokee.
Well,
Yeah,
now
but they're going now. Suddenly, the zombies turn face and begin to like.
Well, they're
Oh wait,
entangled,
they're
right?
entangled. Yeah, so this one can still turn,
Yeah.
and these ones can still turn. These two are gonna try to make strength checks to punch their way out. They have to make. Oh. Wait, no, they didn't make it.
They have
They are still bound, restrained. But this one turns around and swipes, tries to slam into Digron. He misses, and then this one is going to attack those guys.
Digron or Dorkoff?
Or, sorry, Dorkoth. Dorkoth. Getting the names all mixed up. I shouldn't have written so many D names.
Well, what's dumb is now I'll remember Dorkoff's name because in my head I'm like Dorkoff.
Dorkock.
we heard the first time.
The zombie strikes at Ka and hits him, like, square in the face.
Even though he's got his full defense.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's got, even on advantage, he rolled a pretty good number. Ka takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage
Ugh.
from a decent hit, but I mean, Ka's got 66 health. He's
Yeah.
fine. He's only taking the
okay.
11th, yeah. Okay, now it's your turn. Oh, wait, these ones sort of lunge forward, but they're still kind of in a prowl. They're sort of in a weird prowl. This one gets back up and starts to make its way over, like, sniffing around the fence area. It seems to be crawling around the fence.
Okay.
You started to hear the people in here starting to panic a little bit. Because the ghoul is just right there, sort of clawing its way.
Well, maybe they should panic less. Alright.
Just panic less.
Panic less.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to... $30? Like right there?
Yeah, that's about,
About
30. You can kind of like eyeball it in certain ways.
Is,
This is basically just a little bit past this.
Is that one within 120 feet?
Oh, definitely. 120?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to... Magic Missile
Magic missile!
at 2nd level.
Ooh, yeah.
No, I know what it is. Just cast it.
I know the spell, just cast
Okay,
it.
so it's so that's 4 darts, right?
Yes, magic missile.
Okay.
Magic missile.
Give me my triangles. Okay. Kind of garbage, but not the worst, I guess. That is 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 points of damage. All right.
9 points of damage.
Yeah, the darts penetrate the flesh of the ghoul to the point that it like turns around and begins to sort of hiss and snarl. It seems to instinctively know who attacked it, and it kind of like fixates its gaze upon you.
Sure.
And you're like, huh.
This was smart. And
Yeah.
then bonus action.
Oh yeah, bonus action. You can move the
I'm
orb.
going to. Well, I don't want to get anybody that's friendly to me. I'm going to ram it into that dude.
All right. You punch it into the target. It needs to save against it, right?
Yes, 14.
Okay. It
Dex.
fails again.
Okay. Ooh, that was a good one. So he takes 9 points of damage.
And with that, another zombie melts into goo right in front of you all.
Melty zombie!
Melty zombies! The goofballs.
The goof troop!
The goof troop lunge forward. Ka and Digron make way to basically take down this ghoul. They take a step forward, and both of them thrust their weapons. Fuck!
Thrust their weapons. Fuck!
Oh my god!
They both miss?
Okay, so Digron got a natural 1, and Ka got a 3.
I believe in them.
Digron swings his weapon with a mighty
Wait, don't they
arc.
have advantage?
No. Oh, wait, restrained.
Or is it, oh, sorry.
It's just restrained, they're not prone. Yeah.
No, sorry, I meant because of the cost thing, but that's
That's
people
defense.
attacking
Yeah,
with
when people attack them, they
disadvantage.
have, disadvantage to hit them.
Gotcha.
Digron flings his axe and it smashes against the barrier here. Just kind of, and he kind of goes, oh. Whereas Ka just sort of thrusts forward and misses. The dwarf leaps up. Oh my god.
You saw my dice,
Yeah,
Jesus.
2. The dwarf leaps up, brings down 2 axes, and again misses in front of him. Kashro behind you, Sarada, launches another volley of scorching rays at that ghoul. He just put new dice up. Oh god, what the fuck? Okay, that's literally 2 2s in a row. Okay, I'm gonna try one of your dice again. We'll try one of your dice. Okay, 1 ray hits. I didn't want
Your
these.
dice just decided they didn't like you today, huh?
Wow, 3 damage. You see, like 3 scorching rays just kind of go pew pew, boom. One of them hits. Pew, pow. The ghouls start to turn, and this one, like initially, it's gonna charge at the two of you as you guys have been shooting it, but it notices the dwarf kind of like struggling with this zombie, and instead turns itself and lunges onto the back of the dwarf, biting into his shoulder, or at least attempting to.
Great. 7?
Okay, he does 11. And it does not strike. You see, the ghoul is on top of the back of the dwarf, and now he's like kind of struggling with the ghoul on his form. Now this ghoul, however, does charge forward and kind of like gets about to this point as it kind of snaps and like bites at you.
Okay.
It snarls, and then as it approaches, it suddenly yells with this weird, like loud, echoing, like cry. Make a Constitution save. And Kashro will do the same. And he'll succeed, yeah.
Okay, and then con save. Saving throws, here we go. That's 11.
11. Okay, you do not quite save against its strange, unearthly howl.
Okay, so I take a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Here.
You're going to take 8 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And Kashro takes only 4 points. The yell is quite intimidating, and you guys kind of hear sort of something like big, sort of like in the forest down to the east. Just
Oh no.
Okay, so
Oh good.
good stuff.
These are just the babies, aren't they?
Yeah, this ghoul uses a dash action to come over here. Oh, and
if it's, okay.
Are the
so
horses still here or they ran
okay,
away?
so who is close by to the horses? Well, Pahokee is not.
These two guys.
Yeah.
This horses close to the dwarf.
So, yeah, I'm gonna have all the horses make a sort of like morale check.
Okay.
And if they fail it, so if this is, so high or low, I'll let somebody call it out.
I usually do, so one of you guys do it.
High? Alright. Alright!
76.
The horses remain calm, but you can see they're sort of like buckling and sort of trying to like sort of lightly trot away from this like weird activity.
Kinda gently moving
yeah,
away.
kind of like gently scooting about. These ones sort of like move this way and start to move. Nita, your turn.
My turn.
Yeah, it's like meat fight.
All right. Would you say this group of zombies is within? Shit. Sorry, I set it down. Okay, nope, not that one. Yes, that one. 60 feet.
Oh yeah, they're. Yeah.
All right. I wish to take a flaming spear.
If you use Flaming Spear, you're gonna lose Entangle, because I think they're both concentration.
Well, they only last up to a minute anyway.
Okay, I mean, like, you'll let them go now, though, because it's only been one round, so it's only been 12 seconds.
Oh.
A minute is about 10 rounds.
Well, they're not doing much damage, so I'm.
You're like, okay, Entangle didn't work out. Let's just kill them.
I tried, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop a flaming spear on top of them,
Okay.
and I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna let him go. Flaming spear time, you guys.
Alright, this is
And
your
then-
Flaming Sphere.
Yeah. 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of my
there you go.
choice within range and lasts for the duration. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw.
Sorry.
As a bonus action, you can also move it right now. So you have a bonus, and then you can ram it into a target.
I would
you
like
have
to
a whole
ram
box
it into
down
one,
there.
and I'm also casting it as a 3rd level spell,
Oh! So it's gonna be even
so
stronger.
it's a little stronger.
It does 3d6.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Oof.
So
pretty sure my
I'm
sword
going
was
to
only
Yeah, just level 2.
I guess I want to move it away from our buddy, so I'm going to move it into the
That one?
This one?
That one right there.
You can ram it into that one. Oops.
Yeah, just wow.
Just two giant
This is
balls
poof,
of fire.
yeah, just melting these poor undead that just want to go about their day and eat people. That's all they want, right?
All they
Right?
want is to eat people.
So is that do I roll the thing now?
Yeah, well, they have to make the save against you.
Okay.
So hang on. 13, actually that... No, wait, what's your DC? 16?
Mine is 15.
13, never mind. Yeah, they
spell.
fail. So you get to deal your damage, 3d6 damage.
Okay. Oop. 1, 1, and 4.
Or that's actually kind of enough because these ones have been boiling. So suddenly another flaming sphere erupts next to them as the plant matter like dissipates. The vines immediately uncoil around the targets, and a rolling fireball smashes into this zombie, melting it as well.
Yay!
So we still got the 3 goblins and a couple undead, and this guy screamed in the woods.
Yeah.
So we're not sure if that brings more of them or not.
Yeah,
yet.
you're not 100% sure what that means, but wait, Pahokee, you can move by the way if you want.
Oh, I'm actually really happy on top of this thing. overlooking
You're
the,
like, ha
overlooking the fray.
Viksha, it is your turn.
Question is, do I want to do that or not? I have an idea, but it's like if that's not gonna call other creatures and it's not really gonna be worth it.
Do it, do it, do it.
Okay.
Do it, yeah.
So Viksha, a little bit rattled from that, is going to reach into
Yeah.
her bag and pull out a caterpillar cocoon,
Okay.
and she is going to turn into an Allosaurus. She's going to cast Polymorph on herself.
Oh, I see.
So she's turning into a dinosaur.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh. Hey Nina, do you have the? Yeah, you have the stats, right?
Yeah, but you
Okay.
have the little ones that are painted over there.
Do
that-
it, do it, do it, do it.
large size, right?
Yes, it's a large beast.
It's a large beast.
Its armor class is lower than mine, but it's got a fuck ton of hit points.
That's a good thing. About
Suddenly, Visha transforms into an Allosaurus, a menacing, large, like carnivorous
And now
dinosaur
Pahokee is
with a
dinosaur.
deadly maw,
Yeah.
small little arms, but large, muscular feet and a massive tail.
the fuck?
Just whoa.
The fucking...
You can move, but you can't attack right now, so,
Okay,
yeah.
So, the movement on this thing is 60 feet. but,
Wow.
Nita has my stat sheet, so hang on.
I gotta draw very important.
So,
Very important.
Pahoki, by the way, you can now transform into one if it's within your CR, since you have now seen an Allosaurus.
Okay. Okay. The fuck?
Polymorph.
Yep. So,
What a
this
good
thing...
spell.
I love the dinosaur.
Okay, so yeah, 'cause that was my action, but I can still move. Okay.
Hi, bud.
Dinosaur kitty.
Dinosaur. Now the thing is, yeah, because I can't really... No, because pounce is an attack, so... I don't even know what it would do right now, aside from... It's just a big goddamn
Yeah,
dinosaur.
you're just a fucking dinosaur.
Yep. Okay, you know what? Yeah, she can't really do anything aside from move, so... Oh, you know what? She's gonna just take a couple real big steps right over that guy. I know he'll get an attack of opportunity, but...
Yeah, boom, boom, boom.
Only if you leave his range.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Like, so if you're, like, just kind of engaging...
Just basically, she's just big and huge, she's just
Dinosaur!
stepped right over it.
If you're just kind of shifting around them, they don't get attacks.
Oh,
It's
okay.
if you leave their range.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, she is just literally just straight up just T-Rex stepping over.
Yeah, just...
Wonderful.
The ghoul is, like, almost, like, confused, but excited to be biting.
Yeah.
Alright. At the top of your row, and just as you're about to, like, evade this ghoul attack, you suddenly hear another immense explosion of sound, and suddenly, from behind
Oh
this wall, this wall erupts, the stone wall erupts forth, and a large zombie, like an ogre zombie, just comes barreling out. It lets out a primal, like, crazy, beastly shout, and kind of sees you and just blah!
So now we're just screaming at each
Yeah, pretty much.
because
It's your turn. So suddenly just boom! Shit!
the V exploded into a dinosaur, this guy exploded into a wall. It's just Big Fuckos Day.
Yeah,
Whoa,
big
whoa.
fuckos.
Alright, hang on. 1 second. How far can I move it? 60 feet. No, up to 30 feet. Okay, got it. Cool. I'm gonna kind of move this way a bit. If I can get, like, right there. And then while I'm moving that way, I'm going to direct this flaming smear to just kind of go whomp.
Into the ghoul?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Let me see if it makes that 14! No! None of them make the 14!
Damn. 5.
5 more points of damage. Okay,
Yeah.
this ghoul actually, you see that as the flaming sphere rolls into the creature, its body, like, begins to, again, like, just instantly disintegrate from the fiery arcane magic. It sort of crawls a little bit towards you, and in doing so, peels its shoulder and the rest of its form, almost sundering its melting, like, basically half of it melts away, and it's just the arm crawling forward before it slinks down and just dies in a puddle of dead flesh.
Ew.
Of cadaverous dead flesh.
Ew. Okay, and then I'm going to look at that thing and be like, oh, I don't like that.
Don't like... Yeah, the giant ogre zombie just erupting onto the battlefield is a very startling moment.
Am I within 60 feet?
Of it? Ooh, maybe. You might be.
I think I can move forward
Yeah.
a little bit if I...
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah, you definitely are.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to look at that, be like, okay, no, and right here, I'm going to cast Shatter
Shatter!
on it, basically.
The hideously grotesque creature is...
Fuck, I shouldn't have done that. That's
First
alright.
off, you guys can smell the rot from where all of you guys are standing, even the ones who are furthest away. It is almost a nauseating aroma as this giant hulking flesh creature that, stumbles into the area, sort of like gushing and oozing in all sorts of gross places.
That is a Constitution save.
Constitution save. All right. What's the DC?
15.
15. It does not make it, actually.
Hey.
By 1. It has a +4. It rolled a 10.
Ooh. Well, I got an 8 on a D8 and a 7 on a D8.
Good dice.
So hang on, let's see. That's 9, that's 12. 19.
19 damage. All right. Suddenly, your shatter gets centralized. You feel a certain like a gust of wind kind of like pull in, and then suddenly clap like a massive blast just flies forward. You see the zombie just sort of erupt, like the side of it sort of erupts, and you even see some ribs just shatter off in its giant form. It seems to still be like it doesn't flinch from the pain, but it's like the physics of it forced it to kind of like move forward. It kind of like looks around and kind of like lumbers. It's still lumbering out. It's dribbling and like, you know, all sorts of different colored pus and goo just pouring from its side, but it still seems like it's on the march towards you.
Okay.
The goof troop.
That's my turn. I'm gonna like back up 5 feet because I think I only have like 5 feet of movement left. Okay.
The goof troop. God damn it!
Oh my goodness,
Are
you
you
guys.
Yeah, I think they're just goofing it up.
Please.
1 hits, 2 hits. Okay. So Kashro casts a magic. Oh, you know what? Fuck this. He's gonna cast magic missile instead. Except I already rolled, so he's gonna cast fireball. That wouldn't be fair. So Kashro hits the ghoul underneath you, Sarada, dealing about 7 additional points of fire damage. The ghoul is looking pretty worse for wear right now, but your attention is kind of diverted towards the giant ogre.
Yeah.
These two chuckle fucks don't hit anything. But the dwarf finally sinks a dagger or an axe
D&D.
in. Hi, baby. Finally sinks an axe into the zombie, cleaving it in half. However, the ghoul is still kind of like crawling all over him. The ghouls. Now it's their turn. The ghoul on Dick Boy and Durkoff sinks its fangs deep into the shoulder of the muscular shoulder of the dwarf. He yells out in kind of like pain, and blood sort of oozing and gushing outward. He takes 7 points of like piercing damage, slashing damage, because it's actually a swipe. And then you sort of see as the ghoul kind of like lets loose from the chunk that it ripped out of him, the flesh that it bit is like graying and already necrotizing immediately. The dwarf kind of yells out some sort of dwarven curse and
He understands now.
and falls to the ground paralyzed. His body is like, you know, he's grunting in agony, but he's like, I can't move my limbs. Bastards!
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's real bad.
It turns its attention towards you now as the giant Allosaurus. You're kind of like surveying the battlefield in your form, and you can see that several ghouls, the 2 ghouls, kind of have their eyes on you. They just need to bite you a few times, bring you down.
They're gonna try and bite me?
Yeah. They already used their turns.
Okay, but
Yeah.
they're looking at me.
Oh wait, no, that one didn't. That one is gonna bite you.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna bite my scaly ass legs.
What's your AC?
My AC as an Allosaurus is 13.
It misses. So as you're kind of like stomping around, the ghoul kind of like looks up, tries to grab onto one of your legs, but your muscle and like the thick nature of like your hide prevents it from like penetrating as it like bites into you. You kind of feel a nib, but it's not like it doesn't penetrate.
Yeah, it's just
it's
a
like
little annoying.
Pahokee, it is your turn. Things are ahead.
When
A
does this
giant,
go?
yeah, this giant. Oh,
When does he go?
yeah, he
Deciding
does
which
go this turn.
Okay.
I'm looking at this.
The ogre zombie lumbers forth. Basically, think of like a weird like Hulk monster, basically.
The abomination?
Yeah. As he charges forth, he sees you and then kind of like turns and like rushes over and tries to punch you in the face.
Oh, the big old Allosaurus.
Yeah, you're the giant. I mean,
Yeah.
it was hit by magic, but it's also like there's a giant dinosaur in front of me. I gotta hit it.
Kaiju fight.
Yeah, Kaiju.
Oh, it slams its fist right into your, like, monstrous jaw. So basically, think of it like maybe you're, like, trying to evade the ghoul, and you kind of, like, look away for a moment, and the zombie ogre just kind of comes up and just sort of clubs you. Right in there. Okay. Wow, 2d8 bludgeoning damage. Jesus, how many hit points do you have in your form?
It says 51 or 6d10 plus 18.
Okay. We'll have you roll later just to have it expedited. You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage. Just a rough punch to the face.
Okay, so...
You feel like one of your, like, massive razor teeth kind of, like, loosen a bit as the ogre just rips its, like, monstrous strength into you.
How do I do that? Hang on, sorry. Just realized that I'm like, do I know how do I... Sorry, my thing... There it is. Okay, sorry, it's like I have to set it so I'm doing polymorphin so I can change what animal I am, but now I don't know how to do that. Okay, that's cool and all, but like...
But...
You have 51 health. Like your stats are right there. You'll have to just keep track of it.
Okay.
I just write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to turn off now. Oh, here we go. Temporary.
Oh, yeah, you got temporary hit points. I actually can keep track of it on my sheet, too. I can just add you on a thing.
Okay, and then I'm...
Dino.
Taking
51.
Okay, and I'm getting... Okay, so minus 17 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
17, there you go.
34. Okay, so I got 34 hit points down.
And it is your turn.
Okay. And Wait, is that right? 17?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
right.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it down here, too.
Okay, cool. So... Okay.
And now it's whose turn? Sorry.
Mine.
It's, Sarada's turn.
Okay,
I
so...
thought Pahoki went first.
Oh, wait.
Yes,
Pahoki.
Pahoki's turn.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Pahoki, it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. I thought you didn't go.
I'm getting confused on when I go in comparison to...
Yeah, I am so
No,
sorry.
you're
I
good.
totally got confused.
Yes.
I see a Tyrannosaurus now. Can I turn into one?
Yeah. Wait, can you? Because I don't know if you can turn into CR2s yet.
Damn it. I don't know.
Let me check your class feature. I think you can,
I
actually.
thought you said I could.
I think you can, because it's a CR2, though.
Yeah, because I'm like... Yeah, because she's turned into a giant boar, hasn't she?
Yeah, is that a
And that-
CR2?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then yeah, you can. You can turn into an Allosaurus as well.
Oh, yes, remember, because we were talking about the giant elk and it's a moose.
Yeah, that's right.
Give me your
Okay.
Allosaurus.
Okay.
Give me your Allosaurus.
Pahoki.
Do you hop off the wagon?
First.
Having seen the great mythical beast
that the Vishka has turned into must now join the fray. So ha ha! Whoop 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 whoop!
Magical.
Second Allosaurus.
Just magical girl transformation.
So now you're Allosaurus as well. You-
I scream.
So you used up 1/3 of your movement. You still have a 2/3 left.
Cool. How far does that get me?
Let's.
Allosaurus
I'll give you
has 60 feet,
Yeah.
so...
2/3 of 60 feet. So 30 feet.
Oh, okay. Wait. Can I make it?
Two
do
Is
that?
that right?
40 feet.
40 feet. Yeah, 40 feet. I was like, let's see if you can make it. Here's another thing. Allosauruses can pounce if they charge a target. So maybe you want to stand away from it first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but 30 feet... 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 30 will get you here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you can... But if
you
save it, you can do a pounce.
Yeah, you can do a charge attack if you want to save it. Give yourself a little distance.
All right. I'll save it.
Yeah.
I
You
will
can-
just sit there and go raw. That means my
Vishka!
fire has gone away.
As the ghouls are clawing at your feet, and you've just been punched by an ogre, you look forward, and Pahoki also turns into an Allosaurus!
She's gonna sit there with her tiny little dinosaur arm. Tiny little dinosaur fist pump with her stub arms.
What are you gonna do?
Okay.
Whoa,
so-
2d10 plus... Ooh, that's crazy. I'm looking at the Allosaurus stats right now.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Whoops, sorry. That's... Okay, so I'm too close to
pounce.
do a pounce. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bite the guy. I'm going to just
Bite the ogre?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. You basically open up your giant maw and with tremendous power snap at the ogre.
Okay, so does that? It says it classes as a melee weapon attack. So
Yeah,
it's
so it's a plus. So you basically get a +6 to hit. So roll d20 +6.
okay.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about your stats because now your stats are the Allosaurus.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at
Yeah.
the Allosaurus here. Okay, so that is an 18.
Oh, you hit it! You hit it hard. Yeah.
Okay, so I hit him hard, and now I got to do 2d10 plus 4.
Yeah.
D10 is the alien ship.
Yes,
Okay.
the saucers.
Oh no, that's a percentage dice. D10 is also percentage dice, right?
Yeah. They're the same things. Yeah. You can just roll them together and just roll the number 2.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. Give us a big chomper.
All right, that is 9 and I don't know how to read that.
What's the number on it?
0.
Oh, that's a 10.
That's a 10.
That's a 10.
Oh, so that's 19 plus 6.
Woo!
So that's 25 points of damage.
Damn! All right. Ooh, hot dog. All right. Using your primal fury, you just unhinge your jaw and clamp down into the shoulder neck meat of the ogre in front of you. And with razor teeth and ease of wear, because like your strength is like 19, you just pull your head back and you can feel your razor teeth just basically saw off a portion of rotted cadaverous flesh, but still exposing like the shoulder bone. You see the arm like kind of goes limp for a second, but with weird like necromantic magic, its arm kind of like starts to kind of reform a little bit. It's not regenerating, it's just making sure the arm can still operate.
Okay, so it's like barely hanging on,
Yeah,
but it can still move.
But it can still move it, so you just go whoosh, and the ogre like yelps in pain. It's just like
Okay, well that's an action. Now
yeah.
I
You
still have
you can
movement.
move, so you can circle around them without causing an attack of opportunity. But if you do leave the area of where the ghoul is, he'll try to bite you again.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I don't think the ghoul could do that much damage to me right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my movement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I should mention these horses have probably run away by this point.
These horses are
because
out.
like now that there's Tyrannosauruses and everyone's
Horses are out.
roaring,
Yep.
yeah, they're out of here.
Bye, guys.
yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and
People in the house are getting out
march
of the show.
my little
Yeah.
dino butt over here.
All right, Camille's still shouting, "Mead
Meat
fight!
fight! Meat fight!
The ghoul, the ghoul
I'm
tries.
over
Oh! The ghoul tries to
That's
take you
one.
on, and it latches onto your it rushes up and tries to bite at your tail. But as you're spinning around, your tail just whips it in the head. Roll a d8 plus your strength, which is +4, and you're just gonna whap that ghoul as you're literally just turning around, not even intending to hurt it.
That's a
That's a D8.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a d8. So d8 +4. I'm
Okay,
gonna give you
7 plus 4, so that's 11.
11. Wow, the ghoul crocked, and you see the ghoul's head crack and turn. It's still alive with its twisted upside down head, but it's like
Yeah, it tries to bite the tail, but instead just
and you barely notice until you look back and you see the ghoul's head turn sideways.
Okay, well, seeing all of this, I'm gonna be like, okay, think you guys got it. I'm just gonna scoot
like,
this way.
All right.
Oh no!
I'm gonna
Oh,
tell
no,
Emil he
not
can
messing
stop,
with
he can
you.
stop yelling, by the way.
Emil stops for. Emil does it a few more times before stopping. It seems to
Yell as much
enjoy
as
it.
you want,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, meat fight!
Okay, and then for my...
Oh.
That's
Oh no! Yeah.
Hers
That's
is gone.
hers. Yeah.
Mine
I think
is
you
still
s-
up, I think.
I think
put
you
mine
lose
away.
it when you transform,
Yeah.
unless you have a special feat.
Yeah, that's why she pulled hers off.
Oh.
That one was
That
mine.
was yours.
We had two.
Well, it flipped it because yours was the sword originally.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's fine. Okay, so
Sorry.
I'm just gonna let the dinosaurs do what they do, and I'm gonna kind of move this way to try and help out the goof troop over here.
Yeah. They're having trouble with these ghouls.
I am going to send the flaming sphere rolling this way.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to hit one of the targets?
No, because that guy's really close to that
Oh,
one, so
yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
hit it.
yeah.
But I want it close enough to be damaging
Yeah,
this one. So I'm just going to leave it there.
It'll probably even hit the other one if you just think. I'll just say it's like close enough because both of them are like really close to the fence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it
Perfect.
there. I just don't want to hit
It's just toasting them a little bit.
Dorka.
Yeah.
And then staring at this one zombie that's still standing because Ka and Daigon are having a hard fucking time.
It's a bad. It's a hangover. And Ka's just having fun.
Ron just kept drinking
I'm
after
just gonna
the
look at it and be like, I
restoration.
don't know, let me try, and I'm gonna do a little like look at the rest and just throw a spark bolt at it.
Okay. You let loose just a whip of lightning energy.
Oh shit! It's 15 plus 8.
Oh, it's dead.
It's like 20 something.
Like,
No,
the
that was the hit.
Oh, to hit. Oh, yeah, that hits. Like, their AC is 11.
I mean, let me just check how much damage I get here. I don't know if it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be dead, but we'll see.
Let's find out.
Because now it's just kaiju fight.
That is 11.
Oh, yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
It had 9 hit points left.
Aha!
So you basically shock it, and you know Ka is got his shield up. Digron is like trying to get his axe out of the wall, and the zombie's just kind of shambling forward. And before it even touches the shield, you just zap it, and it kind of flumps and is dead on the shield with Ka. And Ka kind of looks up, looks around, and then kind of gives you a thumbs up and slides the corpse off of his shield.
And that's my turn.
Digron spends his turn pulling his axe out of the wall, and Ka dashes forward and tries to thrust his spear into the back of this ghoul.
Ka drank a too
Yeah,
much.
what the hell, man?
Ka's hungover,
Yeah.
apparently. Like, hardcore.
Cashro sees this opportunity. He claps his hands together and rubs them, and you can feel a spark of Arcana, and he rushes forward and lunges at the, like, at the zombie, casting Burning Hands!
Oh, no!
Oh, that's right. Orcs have low intelligence.
He's
Why I haven't been doing shocking grasp, man.
Oh, bye.
I don't want any of these things near me.
Yeah.
It does hit and deals like 7 points of fire damage. A little bit low.
Burned his ass.
Yeah. They're not supposed to outshine you, so they're kind of like de-leveled a little bit.
I gotcha.
The ogre, however, is gonna pop a quick reaction and swipe at
Dum dum.
our little orc friend, and misses. You see the ogre kind of like, the fire singes at its
arm's
waist.
so little
And, yeah, like kind of and he sort of spins around trying to use the limp arm, but the orc kind of ducks under it. And is like, yeah,
I got it.
I got it.
Best wizard.
Sorry. The ghouls, the ghoul kind of like dashes forward and tries to get it. It's not going to get anywhere. Okay, he turns around and fights. Oh, that's right, he's fighting Ka.
He is yeah.
Oh, and Ka gets hit.
No.
This actually might be bad for little Ka. Okay, Ka takes 8 points of slashing damage, and now has to make a Constitution save. And he shrugs off, like you see so Ka's got his shield upward, and at first he's pretty good at deflecting it, but the ghoul is kind of slippery, it's quick. It slides under the shield and bites at the poor little kobold right in his chest. And again, you see the necrotizing flesh immediately kind of pulse from it, but Ka, shrugs it off and still stands true.
He is strong of will.
This ghoul lunges forward to Kashro, and, misses.
That one needs to make a save.
Oh, that's right. What's the DC? 15?
14.
14.
So 14 dex.
It does make it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So it
it's
makes it this
half
time.
damage?
Yeah, half damage. So 2d6.
Okay.
And Nita, it's your turn. Afterwards.
All right. Having
Damn it! It's 8, but that's a 4.
4.
8, but it takes 4.
Yeah. You see the back of the ghoul kind of like melting a little bit, bubbling from the flesh with it popping and frying.
Ew.
Dinosaur.
It's time for dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's dinosaur.
Alright.
so
Get on
having
the floor.
trans-
Everybody do the dinosaur.
Having
We're
transformed
back.
into this fantastical creature with giant jaws that are clearly extraordinarily powerful and murderous, Pahokee
Rushes forward and pounces with claws.
All right.
instead of gnashing teeth.
I like to imagine your dinosaur still has the horns.
Oh yeah,
That'd be really cute.
we're gonna do that. That's gonna be a thing.
Little
That's how you
ram
distinguish the two. You have cat eyes, and she has horns.
So rushing 30 feet straight toward a creature, I use a claw
So
attack.
make a D20.
Yes, I will. I'm gonna use the pink one today. I rolled an 18.
Oh, you hit. You hit. And now it needs to make a
Good.
strength save.
Let's see. +6 to hit. Yeah, I definitely got that. Reach for
Okay.
one target. Hit 8.
What is
So
that?
it's 1d8
15.
plus 4 slashing damage. Okay.
Yeah, so roll for that. It unfortunately, so your pounce, you lunge forward and with a quick slash of your claw, strike true, ripping through the flesh, like the rotted flesh of the ogre.
Oh, and I got 5 damage.
You rolled a 1 on the D.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
She sure did.
Tore out from the flesh, but it also resists getting knocked prone by you. It kind of stands true and sort of like tries to like keep its ground. Viksha, your turn. I'm gonna say you're also 30 feet away, so if you want to also make a pounce.
Are we about to have a like?
Boom! Yeah, I was thinking both of you guys were just like.
One just right after you know, one then the other. Yeah, because I'm also going to do a pounce.
All right.
She's gonna just kick her feet and
Roar!
yeah, I'm gonna claw attack
This is great. I love it.
So yeah, and then see here. So it needs to make a DC saving throw of 13.
See if it doesn't make it this time.
Can I make it this time?
It didn't make it this time.
Oh.
Okay, so it is knocked prone, which means I can make a bite attack.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, that's so cool. So
Yep.
basically you get 2 attacks. All right.
So
So after like resisting your claw like takedown, the ogre kind of turns facing you and tries to like starts to reach out for you. When suddenly, just the of a second Allosaurus leaping forward, you catch its knee as it's bending, and it slam it down to the ground. It kind of falls to one knee, but the slash throws it prone, and then you see an opportunity for your razor fangs to chomp down for a bite.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
okay, so now 2d10 plus 4 for a bite.
Yeah, do it.
So that is 6 and 4, so that's a total of 10 plus 4, that's 14.
Oh, all right. So 14 more points of damage,
Nice.
plus the 5. Was that both the attacks, the claw and the bite?
No, that was just the bite.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and roll for the claw because you hit with the
this is the
claw.
damage.
Oh,
yeah.
I do get to hit for the claw
Yeah.
too. Whoa, I thought I only got one of the others.
Yeah. No, if you do not get prone, you get both.
Oh, okay. Claw attack is a 3 plus 4 at 7.
7. Okay,
7
that's
plus 14. That's pretty
yeah,
good.
that's
That's
really
21.
good.
Yeah.
The ogre falls to the ground and you just slash off into it. We're gonna do a weird thing. Nina, make a survival check.
Okay. With my sniffer. Sniff,
Yeah.
sniff, sniff, sniff. Sorry, I keep.
Yeah, I actually have the bonus. You have plus 7. You have plus 7 to survival, Nina.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Oh, so 7 plus 7.
Okay, yeah, 14.
14.
So
Great.
you smell the blood in the air, and I'm gonna give you an attack of opportunity against the ogre as well.
Oh, yum, 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 yum.
You guys
Okay.
can hit into like a feeding frenzy.
Well, then I guess I'm gonna bite it.
All right, roll for a hit.
Bite it, and then I have a +6 to that. Well, I rolled a
You
17.
hit, yeah, you fucking
And
hit.
then it's 2d10 plus 4. That is 8d10. 7. 6
Ooh.
plus 4. So that is
17.
17, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yum, yum, yum,
These things
yum,
Basically,
hard.
yeah. So you ram into it. You hit the ground. You bite down while it's on the ground. You tear open its stomach. Just like by natural instinct. It's a zombie, but you're kind of running with instinct right now. Pahokee takes this opportunity, rushes forward, and then also clamps down their jaws, ripping it to shreds. Within seconds, you guys have
just torn it
large,
apart?
yeah, just torn it apart, like literally feeding in front of
Gnashing
it.
teeth.
Like, so something like Castro standing next to it is just getting blood smattered all over him as he's just like, oh! The dinosaurs are just chomping and chomping and down violently.
He's not moving. He's
just like,
standing
oh!
there. Just like scene from Evil Dead 2 with a wall just
Yeah, he
shoots
just
all the blood.
Alright.
There's two
I'm just
ghouls
hearing
left.
the
Yeah.
and I'm
Just
like,
from your angle,
crunchy.
it's almost like censoring it a little bit. The tree is, but you see the two
limbs.
Allosaurus
You see, like,
heads
a hand.
ripping down and
like when the
chunks.
orcs like dig into that one dude and you see
Yeah,
organs
yeah,
flying. Okay. I'm gonna scoot this way a little bit more, and the ghoul that is attacking Ka.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, well, it seemed to work last time, so I'm going to do the same thing where I kind of flick the other hand and cast another spark bolt.
There we go. Let's do it.
Ooh, 17 plus 8, so that definitely hits.
Oh, that fucking hits. That fucking hits. Basically, if you guys roll like a 15, you're gonna. Actually, if you guys roll an 11, you're gonna hit them.
Yeah.
Okay. 7
Oh.
Points of lightning damage.
All right. So your 7 points of lightning damage whips across. Oh, never mind. We didn't do it. Yeah, whips across the ground and kind of like dances up, crackling all into the face of the ghoul. It like opens its mouth for another bite, and like the lightning just shoots down into its throat, and then you see its throat just burst with arcane, like basically arcane like plasma. The creature, like it seems to still be alive, but its jaw is just missing now, and it kind of just slumps over, and you see like a strange like. Sort of like a mist kind of like fade away from it as the body immediately decays and rots dead on the
I'm
ground.
kind of going, I'm gonna take the figures and do this and just flick the flaming sphere this way.
Oh, that's right! See, the flaming sphere slams into it.
Slam into the other one.
He fails the save.
Okay.
Hey.
You might kill both of them actually.
8.
Yeah,
8
that's
points
enough.
damage.
It had 6 hit points left. So you're flaming. You're just like, oh, and then mentally, as a free thing, you just move the orb and slam into the other ghoul, whose body also just crackles and pops and falls into just a burning mess of dead flesh.
Yeah.
So
Is that all the zombies?
that's everything. You guys did it! And we're gonna like probably call it right here.
Yeah.
It was supposed to end a little bit sooner. I'm so sorry. I went over a little bit.
We'll have to figure out what the
So-
Just
streets
dancing
are next
Allosaurus.
time.
Yeah. So the two of you both like clamp each other on opposite ends of the flesh, and then sort of peel away, shattering the remains of the rotted
sending it
organs.
flying.
Yeah, it's sending it flying again, like
Like a
you
goat.
see intestines slap the face of Castro as he's just like, oh, and just both of you just roar up into the night.
We're doing
Tor-
a weird, like, little Allosaurus dance.
Torrance just looking disgusted, but he gives a thumbs up.
Yeah.
He's
Gruesome, but
gonna
effective.
he's gonna give him a really awkward, like,
Tiny.
Yeah, just
tiny little
finger guns. All right, and with that, we're gonna wrap it up. We'll wrap up the aftermath of the battle afterwards in the next session. Thank you guys so much for playing and joining us. So that was Dungeons and Dragons with us.
Dino time.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That was so cool.
That was good.
Yeah, I thought that was like I don't know why that was like so cool to see the dinosaurs.
I'm excited we got to see the Orc Bros again.
Yeah,
Glad
yeah.
that you had the dino figures.
Yeah.
I had a weird suspicion because I think you mentioned that the other time.
Because you were like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, you said that there's dinosaurs on
Utora, yeah, yeah.
I was like, yeah, and I was like, so I've seen dinosaurs. It was like, yeah, and then I took polymorph because just Pahokee wanted to turn into a
She saw
dinosaur.
dinosaurs and she took polymorph.
Yep.
I need dinosaurs.
That's a pretty good way.
Well, yeah, because Pahokee wanted to turn into a dinosaur, but she couldn't because she'd never seen one. I'm like, I know how to fix that. Oh, just to get it so Nita could become a dinosaur.
Aw.
All coming together.
But yeah, that was it. That was really the reason I took
it.
it. Was so neat.
I'm so glad you found the second Allosaurus.
And they're the same color.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was glad they matched. I don't know why. I'm like really happy they matched.
But yeah, it's cute because one's got the little ram horns, the other one's just got like green gold cat eyes.
yeah,
That's
right.
so fun. I love it. Oh boy.
That's what D&D is for.
I'm so glad I got to use the dinosaur spell.
I am glad too. I was worried for a second because I was like, oh, if like. Are you gonna get punched the crap out of by the ogre, or
That poor ogre, he just arrived and then got eaten.
Yeah, well,
just got
didn't
fucking decimated.
I kind of forgot that you guys had leveled up last time, so I was
Oh,
like,
that went a little.
yeah, that went a little bit differently than I anticipated.
You're like, well, that was a lot easier than it should have been.
Yeah, but it's okay because
We got
that's not the point. Yeah, you guys got
Who
dinosaurs.
cares? Because dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs are fucking cool.
Fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
My plastic dice.
We will see you all next time. We've got a little bit over. Sorry about
Dude,
that.
my fun little like blue dice with the gold in them have been really liking me.
Yeah, let's see, the both of my space dice really seem to be nice tonight. Probably because they're not as well balanced as the metal ones. So
Yeah.
They're a little bit. They get a little bit swayy.
they're a little less random than
Yeah.
metal dice.
I don't know what the fuck. My rolls were just really bad for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea was that the chuckle fucks would take care of the zombies. You guys would focus on the ghouls and the ogre, but then you had to do like babysitting.
But then the chuckle fucked.
Yeah, I felt bad because Cause got really good stats, but
Are we surprised? Still a kobold.
oh yeah, he's still a kobold. Yeah, you're right.
He is still a kobold.
To be fair, they told me I shouldn't do a dexterity paladin, but I was like, well, it doesn't. I mean, he is a dexterity paladin though.
But he is.
Spell scroll going away.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We're finally signing off. Good night. Be good to each other. Have a beautiful evening.
Love you.